Hello! Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, brides and bastards. We are Castle Killbride, where we bring you the news in the nude. Our top story tonight, centrists are the most hostile to democracy, not extremists. No punchline. The study's the fucking joke.
And who were the writers of this particular article?
New York Slimes.
Yes. The New York Slimes.
Yeah. Chicago, you just turned your mic off.
Yeah, there's background noise where I'm at, so I just want to make sure that shit doesn't interfere.
Oh, we don't hear anything, but whatever. Yeah. So apparently centrists hate democracy, which, Jeg, you've got some things to say on this.
Yeah, that makes them wrong.
Well, you know, just the idea that they can say that centrists hate democracy, even though centrist just means in the fucking center between, well, in America's case, between the left and the right, which would be like Republican and Democrats. Ignoring all that nonsense, why the fuck would anyone who knows any shit about politics be for democracy anyway, unless it had a constitution or was a representative democracy, aka a republic? Because democracies suck. In fact, every time they say, we're going to take democracy to this country or whatever, that's a bad idea. No, split that shit up, make it a republic.
Yeah. As you stated before we went live, sorry, that it would make sense for the far left to like democracy more, because that would then be mob rule, and as we have seen,
Yeah,
you know, they usually, yeah, they usually get the popular vote. So obviously,
when you listen to fools, mob rules.
That is very true.
Do they even get the popular vote? Because, you know, quite frankly, I don't consider legal immigrants as voting class citizens.
Yeah, that's true.
Nor do I consider dead people voting class citizens.
Or cartoon characters. But yet they voted for Kennedy.
Ha!
And Mayor Daley, where I'm at.
Did they? I don't believe anyone votes in those areas.
People vote because I've actually been to the voting polls here in Chicago.
Bullshit. This is what they want you to think.
Yeah, well, it is what they want you to think. Like, you show up, man. I have actually been back when I lived when I was in Addison for a while, and Addison's like pretty 50-50. It's half Democrat, half Republican, and I remember. It was Peter Roskin was actually running out here for state, and I swear to God, man, like he wins out here, and he's Republican, and I like him. I definitely like most of his policies, but like how is he winning in this area? That's my question. When you have Chicago, who is very staunch, hardcore Democrat, like will not vote for Republican, and then you have in the West, you know, in the western section of the state, you have like Whiteside County, where it's also very staunch Democrat, but they're two different types of Democrats. It's kind of interesting, the like the contrast between Chicago Democrats and the rest of the state. But like out here, like Rahm Emanuel, look at Rahm Emanuel's victory. He actually does not qualify to be mayor of Chicago. He lived outside of the state for 4 years when he was serving under President Obama.
The fucking crooked criminal politician is ineligible to run an office that he illegally holds and is a Democrat. The fuck you say?
I know, right?
Next, you're going to be telling me Michael Bloomberg was an honest fucking man.
Michael Bloomberg can I swear on this show?
Yes.
Yeah.
Michael Bloomberg can suck a fucking cock.
I know. He was a mayor of a city I was nowhere even near, and he pissed me off every day I heard about him.
Oh, God. Him and Chris Christie, man. Both of those guys are like always together. I always hear about them and fucking because they're right. They're right. States are right next to each other, and oh God, I'm about to go Ted Nugent up in this motherfucker.
Hey, you got to say his name right. It's Krispy Kreme Christie.
Krispy Kreme Christie. I mean, he looks like he's the only reason that company is still in business, man.
I just basically just accepted that all these, like Chris Christie, New York, New Jersey, Chicago, LA, all those places were just ran by fucking mobsters. I know
Jersey definitely is. Because a lot of the old Chicago, like the Irish mob out here, which is what the Daley family was part of, they retired to Jersey.
Well, they got ran out by fucking Al Capone, didn't they?
No. This is years after his death.
Oh, okay, never mind.
In Chicago, how it works is there's the Irish mob. They're actually the ones that control a lot of stuff. A lot of people think it's the Italians, and the Italians have a lot of pull out here, but they're not the ones involved so much in like Chicago politics. It's really the Irish mob that's pretty big out here. They're the ones who put Daley in power. It's no secret. Everyone here knows it. Even people who voted for the guy know, yeah, he's connected. But and
hell, you're connected.
yeah, different kind of connected though. A completely different side of the fucking board. They out here, you look at what they've done in Chicago, and Illinois is broke. We're fucking broke. They basically stole all our money. They like all of our revenue, all of our tax money. We have the highest property tax in the nation. Okay, the national average for property tax is 0.95%.
Jesus.
Illinois, like county to county, it varies, but I think Chicago and DuPage are about. DuPage, I know, is 2.22 or 2.23%, double the national average, and Chicago is right up there. I think they're like 2.25, and you don't think that's a whole lot. You think, 2%. It's not just 2%. Each municipality has their own tax. The highest tax, and you can look this up. There's actually like a property tax calculator. One of the highest taxes is Elk Grove Village. They're Cook County, so they're 2.25% of the county. And then the city, you have to pay like 7.1% to the city. You're paying, just over 10. You're paying just over 10.25% in property tax.
Wow.
You're paying $10,000 on $100,000 house. And I don't know if you've ever been to Chicago. Homes don't cost no $100,000, especially not in Elk Grove Village. That shit's like, $200,000-$300,000.
For reference, in Alabama, the property taxes here average out about $3.33 per $1,000.
Wow.
Yeah, that's about 3%.
That's less than 3%. That's 0.0.
0.3. Yeah, sorry.
So it's actually among the lowest in the nation.
That's that new maths. Yeah, they
If you're over 65, you are exempt from any property taxes or disabled.
Really? Out here, they freeze you at 65. So whatever you are, like you just get locked in at that rate. Property taxes go down or property value goes down. It doesn't matter. You're paying the same tax rate for the rest of your life.
Wow, that's some dog shit.
Yeah, if your property now out here, properties don't drop in value, but like, okay, remember 2004, we had that big economical tank and a housing crash. Like if you were over 60, if you turned 65 during that crash, that was actually really nice because like my grandfather turned 65 during that crash, and his property tax got locked in at like $3,200 for the year. Like that's a $12,000. His property tax now, like now that he's gone, like the property tax for next year will be between $8,000 and $10,000. We haven't quite fully figured it out yet, but it'll be somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000.
God,
this is how.
Damn, man.
Yeah. So like, but if you got locked in right before that crash, dude, you were fucked because you were paying $6,000 on a property that was not that if you were under 65, you would have only been paying like $2,000 or $3,000 in taxes on. Like it has its benefits, but it also has its disadvantages. If you have a housing market crash and you're locked in at a high tax rate, you kind of have to sell your house. And as you know, houses don't just sell. It's not like I can go to fucking like House Replay and go sell my damn house right now. You know, there's no trade-in on that shit. It's not GameStop.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of places in Chicago are really going to sell regardless, unless some real estate company is just going to fucking clear an entire neighborhood.
We have the slowest recovering economy. We are still in a recession in Illinois. We have the slowest job growth. Everywhere else, the economy hasn't quite fully recovered, but it's at least recovered enough, and it's recovered some like sustainability. Illinois is not, and Illinois never will. We are getting bled dry by our pension fund out here. It's $500 billion in debt right now.
Jesus.
Yeah. Last I checked, which was like 5 months ago, it was like.
Hey, hold on a second. Every now and then, we're losing you. Not really losing you, but you're sounding like underwater, like we're not picking you up on your mic or whatever.
Yeah, okay. He's doing it on his phone, so.
Yeah.
Well, you know what makes it even better with Chicago is, they got the toll roads out there. Well, some years ago, they were just pocketing the money.
They're doing it again.
Oh, they are?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay, so Jamison, you've been with me. You've been along like 355.
Yeah.
You know the section by Butterfield Road, the Butterfield toll?
It's been a while.
They just redid it about 2 years ago. It was about 2014. Because that's when like I was going to judo at that time, and like getting through that traffic was a nightmare because they were redoing both Boughton Road and Butterfield Road, so I had like these ridiculous backups. It hasn't been 2 years and they're redoing it again.
What is this toll road that you Yankees speak of?
Yeah, so I guess this is just a Yank thing.
Let me put it this way. The first time I've ever seen a toll booth was on my trip to Connecticut to visit family. And that was and below Virginia, they don't exist. I have never seen one.
Not true. Nope. Not true. Texas has some toll roads.
Well, I've never been as far west as Texas. But in like the southeast, like I've never seen them. I don't see them in Tennessee, don't see them in Georgia, don't see them in Florida, don't see them in Alabama. I hadn't even seen them in Kentucky.
Kentucky has some, I think.
Oh, I remember New Jersey and New York, they had toll roads just on their fucking highways.
No, Jersey doesn't have toll roads on the highways. Jersey only has exit tolls.
So you have to pay to leave.
Yeah, you got to pay to leave the state.
Why do these little states
keep
keep giving me flashbacks to fucking Cuba?
You don't have to pay to enter.
I might drop off. Hold on.
Yeah, it sounds like his internet is shit.
We're all right.
Yeah, New Jersey, you don't have to pay to enter. You have to pay to leave.
We call that a prison.
Not like Christian.
Testes, can you hear me?
Passport to leave the state. You think you do?
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I switched over to my cellular network. That'll be a little bit better connection. I haven't upgraded my modem yet because I work at Best Buy. I'm broke.
You are a little bit robot-y, so
yeah, it might happen. Is that a little bit better? I'm like kind of out of the.
Yeah, you're good. You like next to a window or something?
No, I'm outside.
Oh, that works.
Probably smoking.
No, I'm not smoking.
No.
Nah.
What, did you quit smoking cigars or something?
No, I still smoke cigars. I just like don't feel like smoking right now. I had one right before Slayer the other night. So
Slayer.
Yeah, he went and saw
Slayer
2 nights ago, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 2 nights.
Friday night. Final Chicago show, man.
Yeah, I was working, so.
Dude, you should have came, man. Like everybody came out in force. Testament opened up the show. They opened up with Into the Pit. All I gotta say about Testament is they started with Into the Pit. I looked down at my $1 fucking Moscow Mule in my hand, and I'm like, well, this one's gonna take one team. Testament.
No.
Like, dude, I jumped right into the pit with the fucking glass of yeah, dude, it didn't last halfway around the pit.
I don't have money.
I got out of the pit, and dude, it was $25, and we were at the lawns. We got lawn seats, man. And I'm like, you know me, I'm usually like a GA kind of guy, but the lawn was where it was at for this show, dude. Like GA, there was like one little shitty pit. Because, like, Tinley... Okay, here's how Tinley's set up. It's a big amphitheater. So you got an outdoor stage, fucking amphitheater, like, cone over it, right? There's a GA pit, general admission pit, and it only maybe holds 1,000 people. It's very small. Like, if you go to most concert venues, like, the ground floor... of like, okay, you go to like the Aragon Ballroom or you go to the Riviera or any one of these shows, they hold, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people on the floor. So like it's a small fucking pit. And then there's a ring of maybe 1,000 seats. And then the rest of it is just lawn. And the lawn isn't like, it's nosebleed for sure, but it's not like, it's not the worst. Like if you're right up front, like in the mosh pit. So, Testament came out. There's videos on my Facebook about it. They did, dude. They played their hearts out, man. Testament, Rob. They played for 25 minutes though.
That's all they got?
I wish that's all they got. Testament,
hold on. You're roboting.
Yeah, you're roboting pretty bad.
Yeah, okay, give it a sec for connection.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but it's like it's going in and out of the roboting.
Let me shimmy to the left 2 inches.
Yeah, you said that they played a lot from the New Order, which it seems like that's what they like to do. They obviously know that was their best album.
They opened up with. Yeah, that was. They opened up with Into the Pit. They played the New Order. They played oh god, I can't. Dude, a year ago I could have read off fucking Testament songs like it was nothing. Now I'm kind of like losing my memory or some shit. Losing my
Well, you're taking too many balls to the face in jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah, no shit. You know what they say? You gotta give a.
You're roboting me. We can't even hear you.
Yeah, get back on your.
Yeah, the fading in and out thing was a little bit better than the other one.
All right, let me literally just fucking go sprint up there. Hold on.
Anyway, while he does that, I should probably tell people who Chicago is. Back in 2010, I believe it was, I started up Castle Killbride as a fucking joke band, and Chicago was the first guy in it. And then I dropped it as a joke band, dropped my previous one, and started up as a serious project. And I've been writing with Chicago.
I think my
since.
So
well, actually, we've been before, man. Like,
well, yeah. We were friends back in 2004, 2005, sometime around there. Of course, on the Megadeth forums where I met all my friends at the time.
And your wife.
and the wife.
Nerd.
I think I met his wife on there too. I don't know.
I can't say anything. I met Misty over a Facebook group called Didn't Do Nothing. No, it was Anti-SJW. That's what it was.
Yeah, so he's been a part of the band ever since it started way back then.
Wait, what instrument did you play?
Guitar.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're the guy who stole my job, right?
No, I'm the bassist.
Oh, okay, you're the cool one.
Yeah. McLeod is the one that stole your job.
He might be in here in a little bit, but he actually owns a restaurant or two, so he's been kind of busy with that shit.
Yeah, he's trying to get out of work. He's probably on his way home right now.
Now, that said, I did get a new neck for my guitar, and I can do a little bit of pickup work if need be. Replaced, motherfucker!
Well, the guitar that Chicago had was actually the, what was it, the LTD Action?
The Action.
Nice.
Yeah.
The Dave Mustaine special.
Yeah, the one that he never played on stage, but Glenn Drover did.
Yep.
Right now, my guitar is, I'm replacing the neck on it with a $40 maple neck with a maple fretboard. It's 22 fret actually, and it has a carved up pick guard, and it's now, and the body itself is actually sitting on the floor beside me with both the pickups and the neck guard hanging off, and none of it's together right now. So it's a cheap little Frankenstrat that I'm making.
Of course, I have the best guitar here. The fucking Randy Rhoads neck through. I forget which.
That ain't a dime bag Razorback.
No, hell no.
That's not a DV8.
No.
That's not the Dave Mustaine Angel of Death 2.
Okay, come on, man. That ain't that great of a guitar.
Yeah, you're right. The Angel of Death one's a lot better.
The Dean ones, I like Dean guitars a little bit, kinda, not really at all. That was a lie. I'm sorry, Dean. You guys fuck up your guitars. They work for who they work for, and they actually sound really nice. But to play them, I swear to God, I feel like I'm playing a plywood fucking box.
Yeah, as much as I really like the look of the Dave Mustaine Angel of Death 2, that neck and fretboard was cheap as shit.
Yeah, it was, but you guys can hear me all right? I'm not roboting or doing anything.
Yeah, you're
fine now.
Okay. Yeah, they so going back to Slayer, because this was a really good show, man. I want to talk a little bit about this. Slayer! Fucking Slayer. I can't yell because people are sleeping, but
Fuck
them. Fuck them. Fucking Slayer. So
it's Memorial Day weekend. The fuck are they doing tomorrow?
Yeah, right.
I work tomorrow. I elected to go into work because I get time and a half. So
ooh, nice.
And Hell yeah, I need the money.
I got gypped out of my fucking holiday pay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, life
So
sucks
did-
when you work temp job to temp job.
Or did you just tell them to fuck off then?
Yeah, whatever. I won't be under them much longer. This new company that I'm under is pretty fucking cool.
So,
All right. So I'm
um,
real quick. I'm pretty sure it's an. No, it is not an RR1. I did not spend that much money. I believe it's an RR3. I don't even remember. Yeah. There's the model number.
But you said Testament only had about 25 minutes, and Slayer had like a full show or something.
yeah, Slayer was the only band that put on a full show.
That kind of
Well,
makes
it's like-
sense. It is their farewell tour, and let's be honest, between Testament and Slayer, I think Slayer kind of is a little bit bigger.
Well, Lamb
Oh,
of
a lot
God
bigger.
probably had a full show too, didn't they?
Lamb of God put on about 45 minutes.
Oh, really? I figured that they'd do a full show too,
Nah.
since Lamb of God is currently a bigger name than Slayer.
Lamb of God,
you take
Lamb
that
of God's been selling shit out. They've
Yeah.
been selling out the same venues that Slayer can't sell out. But to be fair, a lot of people were, I don't want to say upset about Gary Holt being in the band, but you know, Jeff's gone.
Yeah, there's
Um,
at least they did do their farewell tour and try and go on a little bit longer.
But, you know-
I get why they did it.
You know, Jeff Hanneman, actually, a lot of people don't know this. Jeff Hanneman, one of his final wishes was actually to have Slayer continue without him. And he had to, because Gary Holt was covering for him on tour. He
Yeah.
actually wanted Gary Holt to become part of Slayer, take on his position. So well, there's a lot of nostalgia there. There's a lot of, you know, you're talking about like two really like classic bands, Exodus and Slayer, that just you can't go wrong with having the guitarist from Exodus fill in for Slayer. Like if it
Wow.
were some nobody, like Slayer's been together the same 3-piece set for years, minus Dave Lombardo, who's left twice before.
You mean got fired twice before?
I thought he got fired only once before.
He got fired once before, and he left because of a contract dispute. And then recently, the most recent one was again because another contract dispute. Because as much as Slayer has been together, the one consistently shitty member is Kerry fucking King.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's kind of a.
It's like I love Slayer and everything, but Kerry King, if he would have gone instead of either Dave Lombardo or Jeff, not that I'm wishing he died, I'm just saying like gone, just like.
But
Gone.
Kerry King and Tom Araya actually have like the rights to Slayer. That's
That's
the
the prob-
problem.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with Tom Araya because Tom Araya is the voice of Slayer, and he helped make it great. And he
And
can
he's
actually write a
actually-
song.
And he's actually a good guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. Fans
So-
love him.
I think I texted you some of the like highlights from the show.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go quick through the highlights. So the lawn was like where it was at. The Tinley Park, right center stage, like in the center stage of the lawn, it's all sand. It's actually they have a like slight uphill, but it's all sand, which makes it way easier for moshing. Harder on your legs, man. I actually got shin splints from the show, but
Yeah, we saw. You were tore to fuck.
oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I got torn up, but that's not even from like, dude. My legs got like sand scratches all up and down and chafing. Like I look like I got into a fucking bar brawl with a sandcastle and it won. But
Sandcastle Killbride, the only
Sandcastle.
sandcastle that kicks over you.
yeah, right. But no, it was a good show. And here's the thing, Jamison. You know, I saw Testament, Megadeth, and Slayer back in 2010. I've seen Lamb of God and Megadeth on the Gigantour. I've seen Lamb of God and Anthrax together. The only band who was there that I haven't seen was Behemoth. These bands for Tinley Park, I don't know how it has been on the rest of the tour, but Friday night, man, dude, they really gave us a show. I'm not just saying that because it's Slayer's farewell tour. I'm saying these guys actually came out like with purpose, and they played with a purpose. I've seen Testament. Testament stole the show last time I saw them. They fucking beat out Megadeth and Slayer. Testament
man.
this time, we were sitting there at the beginning of the show, like there was a pit, and we were all like, damn. Whoever is taking on, like we thought Anthrax was coming up next, and we're like, Anthrax, dude, they're good, but they're gonna have a real tough time topping that.
And
then we
Anthrax
saw
is pretty famous for putting on really fun fucking shows.
They put on fun shows, but they've had like, honestly, like they've had some shows where they've kind of been a little bit of a mess sometimes. Like when I saw them with Lamb of God, they weren't like terrible, but they were kind of clammy. Like they made a lot of mistakes, and you could kind of hear it. And their show was a little bit plagued by audio problems, which isn't the band's fault. That's the production crew's fault.
You got good days, you got good bad days.
Yeah, good days and bad days. It may have just been a little bit of a mediocre day for them, but we thought Anthrax was coming up next, and Behemoth actually came on. Now, for you black metal fans, I'm sorry. Behemoth should never follow fucking Testament. Ever. Behemoth should have opened that show. But I will say this. I had fun during their set. they played a really good live show. I'm not a fan of their music. I don't like black metal. I don't like the genre. And Behemoth, to me, is like, I don't know. They're trying to do something different, I guess. But I don't know. It's not my thing.
Well, I mean, come on, man. Black metal sucks.
Yeah.
You know, the singer sounds like a wounded duck.
And he does. He absolutely does. But fucking
To be fair, so does Dave Mustaine, but he can pull it off.
No,
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine sounds like a fucking I don't even know what the hell. He sounds like a wounded Wolverine or something.
He sounds like a wounded Donald Duck.
He can't sing for shit, but he somehow manages to like win fucking awards. Like Jesus.
You gotta you fake it till you make it, man.
His guitar work is literally just so sexy it makes up for his lack of singing voice.
Well, let's also think about this. Could you imagine any other singer replacing Dave Mustaine?
Fuck no.
Exactly.
They couldn't. Metallica replaced him on guitar, and like they were booed.
Yeah, I mean,
to be fair, it was Dave Mustaine who taught him how to play fucking guitar.
well, you know, wasn't the
Dave Mustaine taught all of us.
Yeah.
well, what? Let's see, what vocalist did Dave Mustaine try and get? Didn't he try and get the guy from Diamond Head to do vocals or something?
I guess no.
He
Diamond
did. He did help make an album with the lead singer of Fear, I think, MD45, and there's two versions of the album.
Lee
one where one where Lee did it, and then one like a remastered version where he couldn't get Lee back, so he did the vocals. And
well, yeah, because I think Lee was dead, wasn't he?
He's still alive, isn't he?
I thought he was dead. I don't know. We'll have to Google that.
He just wasn't available. He's still alive, I think.
So Behemoth put on a show, and we enjoyed it. It was kind of out of place. It was something different. Jamison, I know you probably would have been like, but
Real quick,
Anthrax
Lee
came
Ving
on.
is still alive.
Okay.
Figured.
Then fucking so Anthrax came on, and they opened up with Caught in a Mosh.
Good song. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, good song. Like every single band opened up with like the perfect like fucking circle pit mosh pit song. And
Jamison, take note.
yeah. Like everybody just came out heavy from the gate and just but they kept here's the crazy thing. We've all been to shows, and everybody knows, like, 30 minutes into the show, an hour into the show, sometimes you're kind of struggling a little bit. Like you lose your attention span and you just kind of start like droning off at these shows. It becomes a little bit robotic. Dude, these guys kept up intensity, full pace, like full throttle, cannons going off, heavy metal, start to finish.
Well, from what I've seen, that's what Anthrax does. They really keep up their showmanship. I wanted to say, when I saw Testament for the first time at the Metal Masters tour, they stole the show. They opened up, and they were better than Motorhead. They were better than Judas Priest. They were better than Heaven and Hell, which was, you know, Black Sabbath with Dio. And yeah, those guys are like old as shit, but Testament, you know, they were the best ones there, hands down. I was really impressed.
Well, you say old as shit, but anytime that you're outshining Lemmy is a fucking accomplishment.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, this time they didn't steal that show. It wasn't like, this is the first show I could say I've honestly been to where nobody like stole the show, where it was just such a unified effort between all 5 bands to actually put on a good fucking show. That I can't say that anybody stole the show or didn't steal that show. Like it was the first time I've ever seen in heavy metal all 5 bands, and these are powerhouse bands, coming out and putting on a powerhouse heavyweight performance like they did. Like any one of those guys could have headlined their own fucking tour with if they had played like that every night, they would be selling twice as much as they do now.
And you said that one band was a surprise to you. A few years ago when we saw Megadeth, you know, Amon Amarth was on that tour too. I don't like Amon Amarth, but they put on such a good show. You couldn't help but like it.
I like a couple of their songs, but I feel like they would be a good live band.
Oh, they were great live. They were like, they had the whole, you know, imagery thing. They had like part of a fucking ship on stage. They had their horns that they were drinking from, you know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they put on a really good show. It was quite surprising.
I wouldn't mind. I would never go to see one of their shows. I'd never actually go to see one of their shows, but I wouldn't mind seeing them as a support band.
Yeah.
So, Lamb of God, man, let me tell you about their set at this fucking show. Everyone knows Randy Blythe is a goddamn maniac.
Yes. He killed a man, you know.
He killed a man. Yes. He did, yeah, back in Czechoslovakia. He actually served 18 months for it. That's what the song 512 is about.
Yeah. That was actually his number.
Mm-hmm. His number was his cell number.
I thought it was his number.
Oh.
Well, I guess it would be his cell number.
Is he Czech?
What?
Is he what?
He's Czech? He's Eastern European?
No, Randy Blythe. He's from the U.S.
Yeah, how do you kill a guy? Like, what's the story behind it?
They were doing a show in the Czechoslovakia, and some guy got up on stage, you know, he was going to stage dive or some shit, and Randy Blythe pushed him. Well, he fell off the stage and ended up dying somehow or something.
I heard the guy grabbed Randy, and Randy punched him, and the guy fell off the stage, cracked his head, and died.
I thought he just pushed him off stage.
Yeah, I don't
know, like manslaughter. He didn't
fucking murder a guy. No, he didn't. He didn't shoot him or anything. Yeah, and then he went to jail for that.
Yeah, he served. I think it was 18 months. He said, or something like that.
That sounds about right.
Wait, that's it for killing someone over in Czech Republic?
Yeah.
Well, give me 6 months. I'll be back.
But and Chris Adler. Oh my God. I'm not saying I'm gay, but I'd be gay. Dude,
he was probably the best thing on Dystopia.
He was the best thing on Dystopia.
Yeah.
Minus the like anti-Hillary song, but so.
And a new guitarist, I really liked him.
Kiko, he's awesome.
Kinky?
I love him.
Kinky Lorhejo or whatever the hell. He's Brazilian. Yeah. All those R's are fucking H's.
You know what? Dystopia was just a good album. Let's just say that.
It was good.
Like it.
I was Jamison. Not impressed.
Well, Jamison, you don't even like Motorhead.
No.
Lamb of God had 50 fucking people in this lawn pit.
Oh my.
Yeah, and everyone knows, like, pits are usually like 20, 30 people. They had 50 people in there acting like hooligans. He called us out. He's like, I see you fucking hooligans back there. So, little, like, and so for all 4 bands that played with, like, and these were rough shows. I got, if you're wondering why I didn't get any video footage of Lamb of God's pit, because I got footage of the previous band's pits.
Because it's a Lamb of God mosh pit.
Well, not even just that. Like, I actually have videos. Like, I have a video when they played Vigil at the Aragon Brawl Room, and I was in the pit during Vigil recording. This show, their pit was actually kind of dangerous. And that's coming from a guy who's played hockey, done jiu-jitsu, shoots guns. Like, their pit was fucking dangerous.
I saw those 2 guys skipping in that pit there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, it was funny. Like, before Lamb of God, they actually buried people in the sand. They buried like 4 or 5 people in the sand, and everybody's chanting, sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. And security, the bouncers are standing there. Like, the one bouncer, his jaw is like on the floor, and he's standing there, arms crossed, and they're just like looking wide-eyed, like, what the fuck? Like, these dudes are not mentally stable. Like, what is going on here? And I look up at him, I'm like, man, don't even ask. They're just, this is Slayer, all right? They just, whatever happens, let it happen.
Just be lucky they didn't bring out the goat head.
Yeah.
From the live goat.
Dude, them motherfuckers were about to. Some dude carved Slayer into his chest.
Oh, well,
I'm not even joking. Like, that 1980 old school shit is back. Like, some dude actually had Slayer carved in his chest. I got a picture of the dude who did it. Like, this dude pulled out a scalpel, carved Slayer into his buddy's chest, and, like, used the guy's blood to, like, draw an inverted cross on his fucking forehead. Like, and the dude looked like the kind of guy who would do some shit like that, too. Like, gauges, big lip, tattoo, like 90% covered in tattoos. Skinny, looks like he's been doing heroin. So, to answer your question, yes, Jamison, now I'm smoking.
Okay.
So, Lamb of God's pit was dangerous. I couldn't pull out my phone. I was actually afraid I was going to break it. But that didn't prevent me from jumping into the dangerous pit. Dude, I went flying, man. Oh, God. I took a shot to my chest, and I went flying back. Some, like, huge dude hit me. I must have flown, like, because it was downhill. It was, like, exaggerated even further. I must have flown, like, 10 feet. I went through a line of people. And everybody, like, and you know at these shows, you fall down, people pick you up, right? People are trying to pick me up, and there's, like, people just barreling down the hill on top of me. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, my jiu-jitsu actually came in handy. I stuck my knee up, and I was able to, like, not get fucking dogpiled on. But they couldn't get them off of me. Like, I suffered a concussion at the show, too. So, long story short, I may or may not have been fucking with this dude's girlfriend. I didn't know that she had a boyfriend. She told me she didn't. And I guess he saw me coming into the pit, and he threw his elbow up, and I came running into the pit through the crowd, and he just elbows me right in the head. And I go, oh, shit. I saw a green flash, and I, like, stumbled up the hill. That didn't stop me from circling the pit, though.
So, basically, you got thought patrolled.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Hey, Pecker still works. I'm good.
This just in. Heavy metal now banned in the UK.
So, after the show, man, I go out and I take my cousin. I was with Cody, Jamison. If you remember Cody, he's the reason, like, all the bad things happen in this world. When him and I get together, I swear to God, it's the apocalypse. We've set more shit on fire. We managed to set a grill on fire.
Huh?
Okay. Yes, a charcoal grill, a little Weber grill. We actually set the grill itself on fire.
How? What?
Don't worry about it. Anyway,
no,
so,
we're not skipping over this. How the fuck did you set a grill itself on fire?
Listen,
Willpower. Very
this-
carefully.
This man can set fire to anything.
I can set fire on fire. I've done it.
I have.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is about the point when someone has truly listened to too much heavy metal. They are setting fire to things that fire can't physically be set fire to.
Dude, look, man, fireproof is the challenge to me, all right? It's fireproof? Yeah, we'll see about that. So, Cody and I take a piss, right? Like, the line for the bathroom is a mile long. We get back to the center stage where we were at. And, during the show, we made some buddies. We made friends with a couple of Mexican guys. This one Marine who was stationed in Okinawa. Shout out to him if you're listening. Good dudes, man.
Let's not lie.
But yeah, let's not lie. There's like probably three listeners tuning in, and like they're all Jamison's friends.
No. We've got 2 listeners right now, and they're both me.
That sucks.
We might get 40 views by the end of the week.
Okay, so, dude, this well, now it's depressing. I don't want to tell my story because not enough people are going to hear it.
Well, I want to hear it.
I want to tell it. So, fucking security at the Tinley Park amphitheater are known for the last 30 years. They have been known for being dicks. Like, they are rough. And during the show, like, there wasn't like tension between security and the crowd. Like, for the most part, it was okay. There was a couple of actually pretty cool security guards there. I was fucking with one during one of the show. I told him, it's his turn to jump into the pit, and I pushed him, and he's like laughing. He's like, I ain't getting in that shit, man. What do I look like to you? And he's laughing, but he was a cool dude. But they have these three bouncers. I'll get into this in a minute. So they tried to move the pit.
Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, seriously. They actually like went up maybe like 15 feet up the hill, 20 feet up the hill, and said, this is where the new pit is at. Well, it's a metal show. Do you think that we're going to listen to security like that? Hell no. I think they were doing it just to flex their muscles too, just to say like, you can't get away with this. Like, we're going to be up here.
No, it's heavy metal. Challenge accepted, fucker.
Oh, dude. Well, they were running off the people who were moshing behind them, like, immediately.
No, what you just do in that situation is the security becomes part of the pit now.
Well, I mean, that's kind of what... So I'll get into this. They tried to do that. Because nobody... I think they were expecting people to fill in the gap behind them. But, I'm sorry, the pit's been there for 4 bands. Like, the 5th band, and it's Slayer of all, like, the closer... the headliner, and you're going to now say, oh, we're moving the pit. Like, motherfuckers ain't filling that in. Motherfuckers are jumping into that shit like it's still the pit. And people tried. You'd have 10 guys, like, running out there like maniacs, Thrash, and some guys were actually, like, bumping into security and shit. But security would chase them off. And it started kind of causing a little bit of tension between the crowd and security. And, like, everybody was kind of starting to get a little wary of these guys. Like, and I'm sitting there, I'm turning to my cousin, I'm like, these guys are going to start losing control of this shit real fast if they keep acting like this. They need to just let this shit happen. Some black security guard, I'm not saying this because he's black, I'm saying this because he was an asshole. He grabs my cousin, just turns him around, grabs his beer, like, and they're serving beer in the fucking aluminum cans, Bud Light Tall Boys, like, dude, all that shit was everywhere, man. By this point, people would finish their beers, their $13 beers, and throw it up into their empty cans up into the air. It happens. Look, if you're ever at a metal show and people are throwing shit through the air, you know what? Just accept it. Like, and you might get dinged in the head, but nobody's going to throw anything that's going to hurt anybody.
Oh man, no. My first Overkill show, which was that was the first Gigantour. During Overkill, the the on the lawn were picking up the fucking dirt and chucking it into the crowd.
Oh yeah, sod throwers. That happens usually at Slayer shows. And I'll get into the sod in a minute here. Tinley Park doesn't have much fucking lawn left. So this dude is like, he actually grabs my cousin. He turns him around. He's like, "Are you going to fucking throw this beer?" And like, he's like, "What the hell are you talking about, you psycho?" And he's like, "Are you going to fucking throw this beer?" And like, all the dudes, like, we made friends there, man. These two Mexican guys, actually it was like 3 Mexican guys. They look like they were just fresh out of high school. And like this Marine and like a couple other people are just like, we started circling up on this security guard. And I was like, you know me, Jamison. Dude, if it comes down to fighting, like, I'm gonna not just be the first one to throw a punch. I'm gonna actually do what I can to instigate it, because that's just my natural personality.
Well, you're Irish and German, so.
I'm not Irish. I'm like 100% Austrian.
I thought you were part Irish. Whatever.
It's kind of, yeah.
Oh, well, just imagine a black guy was Poland and it should be a breeze.
Or France.
Oh, it was, believe me. So he kind of looks around, and he kind of got like, he was trying to check my cousin. Like, I think that's what it was. He was just trying to like check my cousin, just like kind of on a little bit of an ego trip. Well, that didn't work. I look at the guy. I'm like, "Man, you guys are losing control of the situation. You need to chill the fuck out." He hands my cousin back his beer and goes, "Don't you fucking throw it." Turns back around and joins the security line. There's maybe 10 security guards in line.
That's when he should have thrown it at the security guard.
Well, Jamison, it wasn't a minute later. It wasn't a minute later, and he didn't throw it at the security. So let me get into what happened. A lot of people saw this. There's maybe about 100 people there around the ring of the pit, because everybody was like, there was the circle pit and everybody was watching the circle pit, and then there was that like big open space behind them, and everybody was watching that shit too, expecting like a mosh pit to break out. Well, 2 security guards. It was this like bald white dude with a goatee and like another fat white dude with like kind of salty, peppery hair. And they run down the hill, and actually they pushed they started pushing people, but they weren't pushing them away. They actually like pushed them to the ground. They were like pulling their heads down into the dirt and shit. Now, we're metalheads. We know the rules, man. Like, you don't push people towards the ground. And if a dude falls, you pick him up. That's the rule. And
Those are the only rules.
Those are the only rules. Like, and no karate in the pit.
Yeah, sorry.
And I stand by those rules. Like, people have died at these shows, man, from being trampled, and it's dangerous, and we don't want to create a dangerous situation. You know, we want to enjoy our music, and we want, you know, the fans, whether you love the guy or hate the guy next to you, man, the fact is, like, you want to pick him up because you want him to continue enjoying the music. You want him to continue being part of this culture, and that's the great thing about the metal culture is, you know, it is a brotherhood, where even if you hate somebody, you listen to metal, you still kind of have that like common bond, and you'll always have that for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah.
With those people. So to see a security guard run out and like push your brothers down into the fucking dirt, you know, some brother you may or may not know, maybe you were in the mosh pit with him earlier. The guy he pushed, I was in the mosh pit with that guy. I fucking body checked him. I saw, and not right after that, they tried to pick him up. Security guard actually grabbed the guy who tried to pick him up, lifted him in the air, and slammed him on his back.
Damn.
Declaration of war right there.
It was. And it happened at like the worst time for him because everybody was watching. And people in the circle pit were watching it too. I've never seen a circle pit stop. I mean, dead in their tracks. Some dude actually like stopped the circle pit, and people, like a couple dudes, like backed everybody up. And like the whole crowd just kind of like formed a tight ring around security. And security was like, they kind of had that look earlier of like when they were burying people in the sand chanting sacrifice, that like they had this bewildered look on their face. They kind of had that look again. And I don't think they realized the crowd literally just turned on them. It's riot time.
Now, at this time, what song was Slayer playing?
War Ensemble.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It was War Ensemble.
That's one of their biggest mosh songs.
Dude, and I'm telling you, in the middle of War Ensemble, the pit stopped. In the middle of War Ensemble.
They interrupted a circle pit during War Ensemble. They have done fucked up.
They were Dude, people were pissed immediately. People started booing, and they were chucking their fucking $13 aluminum can Bud Lights at the security. And I mean, they weren't like tossing them. They were I saw some of those go across the floor with some intent, man. And then about 50 people just like rushed up on security.
Just one-sided wall of death, huh?
No, not one side. They got hit by about 3 sides.
Oh.
Yeah, like they just closed in on them and started pushing them. I single-legged the one security guard, brought him to the ground, the black security guard who was fucking with my cousin, and Cody started kicking sand in his face.
real quick, could you say it was an unholy trinity of people?
Well, I mean, the only reason it was a trinity and not like a quadruply is because, if there is such a thing, is because the people at the bottom of the hill couldn't get up to the top of the hill in time. But trust me, they were coming for blood too. They met them at the bottom. We actually like pushed security and like we broke up their line. One of the guys got rolled down the fucking hill. They tried to reform the line at the bottom of the hill, and people were like pushing security. I saw it. Like I was getting up and I was like joining like this mosh pit. Like at this time now, the 50 people rushed. And, like, there's 150 people just going chaotic at this point. I mean, like, I look around, like, there is no safe place to stand. Like, it is a full-blown mosh pit riot right in the center of the lawn. And, I mean, it must have been – my apartment ain't even the same square footage of the footage of this mosh pit. There was over 100 – I kid you not, over 150 people. Dudes were running trains through the crowd. Like, it was nuts. It was just completely unsupervised fun. One of the security guard who body slammed that guy, I saw some like 250-pound fat guy with his shirt off, downhill, mind you, flying full body weight through the air. He did a flying back elbow to that security guard's face.
Oh man!
People, the Socrates.
He hurt the guy. He hurt him bad. He split him open from about the center of his head all the way over to his temple across his eyebrow.
So the first true sacrifice to Slayer show.
Hey, you know what? It's not a Slayer show if blood isn't drawn.
So security was picking the guy up, and they were trying to like take him out, right? Like they were trying to eject this guy, and the crowd actually came up to him, and they started throwing fists, man. These guys were fighting security. There's maybe about 20 dudes ganging up on these 4 bouncers. Well, 3 bouncers really trying to pick this guy up, and the 4th guy who got hit in the head. They were throwing punches. I swear to God, like they were gonna land 10 grand a fucking hit.
Yeah.
That must have looked amazing. I hope people have recordings of it.
I don't think so. Not many people had their phone out at that point. People were actually kind of putting their phones away. Because I think when that guy got slammed, everybody knew what was going down. Like, because you actually saw people leaving too. Like some dudes, like some of the older guys, were like, "I'm not getting involved in this. This actually is turning into it is going to turn into a riot real quick," and it did.
Next thing you know, people, chairs, paper flying through the air.
There was no chairs, but
you rush the stage and you grab the chairs and rip them out of the ground.
Hey, rush the stage, take the drummer, and then hit the motherfuckers with the motherfucking drummer.
Some shit like that almost happened, and I saw up on the jumbotron as soon as this fight started. Like you could actually see Gary Holt and Tom Araya, like they were actually kind of looking at the lawn because, like, I guess from there you could actually kind of see like shit was going down. Hold on 1 second.
He's got to finish off his cigar.
Mm-mm.
Oh. He's got to keep his cigar alive.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Yeah.
You know it. So.
Sounds like you're sucking on something there, buddy.
Fuck you. It's a stogie. It's a Cuban. Actually, no, it's Nicaraguan. This is a Padron. It's Nicaraguan.
So you're sucking a Nicaraguan. Got it.
Yeah, a Nicaraguan made by a Cuban. So the security kind of got dispersed and beaten up pretty bad too. I guess 2 of the bouncers got sent to the ER. The 2 bouncers who were pushing people down and got sent to the ER. Like they pulled those guys out. And here's the crazy thing: like the bouncers who were cool, like there's maybe about 4 or 6 bouncers who were actually pretty cool. Like nobody really fucked with them. Like they got tossed down the hill on their asses, but like nobody really came for them. Like they didn't. Those bouncers, those 3 or 4 bouncers who were like really being dicks, kind of painted a target on their back. Especially that guy who body slammed someone. Like he had a target on him. People were gunning for him. They wanted blood, and they definitely got it.
Yeah, there was a hit on his head.
Oh yeah, and like that dude collected, and security was trying to take him out. Motherfuckers beat up security, and they pulled him back out. They're like, "You're not taking him." They pretty much like they made their statement. So security got dispersed basically, and then total chaos erupted. Motherfuckers are throwing sod and beer cans, and like shit's going everywhere. There's 150 people just like in a mosh pit, and by this point, Rain and Blood is playing. And
yeah,
Rain and Blood is playing, and fucking like all the Poser Slayer fans are jumping in. There's like 200 people, 250 people in this pit at this point, and it's just chaos, utter complete fucking chaos. Dudes, like there was these fat dudes, these 2 fat dudes, like it's always the fat guys, just like running fucking trains through the crowd. Cody jumped in, we're moshing. Like I saw some of my buddies in there, you know, so I like ran over to them, gave them a little fucking shoulder check, doing the whole metal thing, and so the show ends, dude, and I gotta say this, before I talk about before I talk about the end of the show, like after the show, I'm talking with one of the security guards. The security guard who was cool, who I told to go jump into the pit. And he's like, "What happened, man?" Because I was talking to him. I'm like, "Well, you guys started losing control of that situation because your bouncers were being too rough. Like they didn't have a safety briefing with you clearly, and nobody warned you about not just metal shows, but particularly Slayer fans. Like we're a very aggressive bunch. We're a very passionate bunch, and on top of that, it's your final show, man." I told him, like, that dude, he painted a target on his head, and he's like, yeah, he's going to the ER, man. He's split open pretty bad. His eyes fucked up. He's telling me, like, they think he may lose eyesight.
Oh,
and
man.
Yeah, like, and I told him, like,
get hit.
Yeah, start shit, get hit, right? But I told this guy, like, you know, the way that we look at it is, like, people have died from stuff like that. People have been trampled at these shows, like, and we're a self-policing crowd. Like, what we expect from bouncers is catch our surfers, catch our body surfers, catch the guys in the pit. If the guys in the pit are falling down, pick them up. And just, you know, ensure our safety. Be cool, ensure our safety, man. There's no reason to be a dick, no reason to be dragging people, pushing people, hitting people. Like, you know, even if a dude's, like, really acting out of line, just kind of, like, you know, just grab him for a second and be like, hey, man, cut that shit out, you know, and push them back in. If you have to eject somebody, you know, eject them. But, you know,
and those that want to get out, you know, help them out.
Yeah, like help them out.
Yeah.
And like at the shows, like this show, like people are very good about that. Like we're a very good crowd. When people want to get out, like security wasn't pulling anybody out of the fucking pit. You could not get out from security. Security had a tight line, and if you were trying to get out, security wouldn't let you through their line. People were actually like pushing security apart to pull people out of the fucking circle pits. Like, because security did not want anybody breaking their lines, and it was like not cool. And I think that's where the tension started, was probably about the time Anthrax was playing Indians. I remember Anthrax was playing Indians because I was yelling War Dance, and Anthrax stopped, and everybody was like, "You just killed the fucking magic, Scott Ian." And then they started up the War Dance again, and like I was out of breath, so I'm like trying to get out of the pit because I got hit and I'm like all fucked up. And I tried to get out through security because they were at the bottom of the hill, and it was just like seemed like the easiest place.
That's right.
Pushing me out.
Hey, Magog.
Whoa, we got a Magog in here.
Now it's the show.
Yeah.
Now it's the show.
My friend Chris here, he was a part of Castle Killbride when it started way back in 2010. He's just telling us about Slayer that he saw a couple nights ago here. Now.
Yeah. I suggest watching the recap later, where you'll catch up on the full story.
How do we put it?
Security started a riot.
And then it ended up becoming a battle marathon, except Slayer fans versus security.
Yeah, and like we hurt a couple security guards and sent them to the hospital because they were acting like a bunch of animals. They were slamming people to the ground.
And that
they slammed the one dude.
And that, my friends, is why Antifa doesn't have the balls to appear at metal shows.
No, because motherfuckers will get wrecked.
Motherfuckers would literally get killed.
Our women, okay, you know, these bouncers, they look big and burly and tough, but man, the women, like, you got these 90-pound, 100-pound women that are in the fucking pits with these, like, massive, sweaty dudes. Like, that, our women are tougher than those bouncers.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, so, Chicago, Chris, we call him Chicago because we know two Chris's, so we got Chicago, Chris, and Detroit. So
I'm from Chicago, if you didn't figure that part out yet.
Yeah. So yeah, he was just going through a story of how security massively fucked up at the Slayer show and basically got murdered.
And I was telling, like, there was a couple cool security guards, and they didn't really get fucked with. They got beat up a little bit, but not like, you know, they're going home. They went home that night. They weren't like when we dispersed security, those guys didn't get like chased off like the other guys did. Like they kind of let those guys stay because they didn't have targets on their heads. And we told the one guy, like, that dude put a target on his back. And like metalheads take that shit seriously. Like, you can't be pushing people to the ground and slamming people because people have died, you know, and that hurts us. Like we actually, whether we know the guy or not, like that actually hurts us as a community. We feel that. We feel the repercussions of that. We feel you know, we feel sorrow for those guys because it's like we're coming out here to enjoy music, enjoy a good time, you know, get a little rowdy, get a little rough, but you know. You don't want somebody to die. You don't want somebody to be like seriously injured or they can't go to work anymore and can't like come to these shows and be part of this fucking magical experience that you only get in heavy metal. You don't get an experience like this anywhere else. So, you know, and I take it very seriously too, man. Like, so fan safety is like is a priority, and you're not going to tell them to stop moshing. Especially because, like I said, like metalheads, we police our own crowd. We pick people up when they fall. We don't, you know, we're not a bunch of fucking. We're savages, but we're not assholes. All right. But like it was a very emotional show for a lot of people. At the end, like Tom came out on stage. I forgot what they closed with. It wasn't Raining Blood. I think they closed with Seasons in the Abyss, but like Tom comes out and he's like, "Thank you guys so much." He's like, "That's all I can say." He's like, "Thank you guys so fucking much," and he was choking up, man. He actually, Tom started crying, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean,
like
when you see a member of Slayer cry, shit's emotional.
Like, dudes in the crowd were crying. Like, he had us all choking up, man, and he didn't say much. He didn't come out and he didn't really like give a speech or anything. He just came out and he said, "Thank you guys so much." He's like, "I'm gonna take a picture right now, and like, you know, this is going to my family album." So they took the picture, and he's like, "Thank you guys," and like he started to say something, and he just stopped it. He goes, "Goodbye," and just walks off stage.
Damn.
And like we started crying. Like I looked around there, like those big dudes, like those big like angry dudes. They're like, that's a part of my fucking childhood that just walked off stage right there. Like that's my teen years. You know, that was middle school, high school. Like I listened to a lot of Slayer, man. We used to get drunk and fucking have circle pits in my little 600 square foot apartment. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, Slayer is the first officially done, you know, big four band.
Well, I mean, it's their last world tour. I think if there's going to be like another like big show, they may play some big shows here and there, but I think they still got the rest of the year. They're touring until November.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he like choked up like that on the rest of the tour. You know, I think Chicago has always been we're always a very passionate crowd. In our music, we've always had like very emotional shows in our music, and like to see Tom choking up like That's big, man. It just tells you what the whole music industry, what metal has meant to Slayer for all these years, what his career, his 34-year career has meant to him.
Yeah, he knows no other band at all.
You know, we used to say like, oh, Tom's just in it for a paycheck. And I actually regret saying that, because after seeing him on Friday night, I don't think that's true. I think Tom very much so cares about the music and his fans and about Slayer. I think he's just hanging his hat up because he knows it's time to quit. He wants to go out. He wants to go out with the dignity. He wants to go out on top while Slayer's still popular, still has listeners, and I think they made the right call.
Well, he also doesn't have a spine that can move anymore, too.
Yeah, I mean that's because they're all fucking old. You know, they've and Slayer has been awesome. Let's face it, man. Slayer has toured they toured Pantera, they toured Lamb of God, they toured Machine Head. Like they've toured bands and they've given tons of bands a fucking shot. Like they have really done a lot for the music industry in terms of in terms of like getting bands out there, promoting other bands.
Hell, they helped Megadeth get started up a little bit with Gary Kane as guitar.
Yeah.
I have no idea what any of you are talking about.
Oh, you don't know about Slayer?
Not a huge fan.
Oh.
Okay. God. I'm sitting here pouring my fucking heart out. I'm actually kind of crying on my balcony a little bit, thinking about how Tom ended his fucking career, his last show in Chicago, and here comes a douchebag. I don't know about fucking Slayer.
Oh no.
Well, you know what?
I don't. Like I know a few things and I know a few of their songs, but I've just never.
What do you listen to?
Not Slayer.
Just listen to one of our previous episodes, and he goes over a lot of it. I wouldn't say Magog's like the biggest metalhead of us.
Yeah.
That's not true. I love metal. There are certain genres of metal
you just
that
don't
I don't get into.
Well, I mean, I said the same thing earlier. I don't like black metal. I think black metal.
Like I don't much care for the real heavy death metal and black metal and stuff like that. But I do like bands like Sabaton, fucking Sabotage, fucking Metallica, fucking Iron Maiden.
Are you more like the classic metal, or do you listen to like stoner metal?
Definitely classic metal and symphonic metal. I like Camelot. Camelot's one of my favorite bands of all time.
Like a little bit of like prog shit, like even like Dream Theater.
Yeah, I like Dream Theater. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the shit I never really got into there.
It's just a different type of metal. I'm still a metalhead, but I just don't. I think metal is one of the best forms of music, but there are subgenres of metal that I just don't care for because maybe I didn't grow up with it, or maybe I didn't get into the scene, because a lot of it is like scene metal. You have to be a part of the entire lifestyle to really get it.
Yeah.
And I'm not.
I got into the scene when I was 13 years old, man. I mean, that's when I bought my first Iron Maiden album. I bought I was 12 because I was living in fucking Woodridge at the time. I was 12 when I bought my first Iron Maiden album.
Let's just say that when it comes to music in general, if they're singing, I at least want to understand what they're saying.
Yeah, for the most part.
I have a bare minimum requirement for that. Some of that, like a lot of people ask me because I'm Magog. They ask me if I'm like a fan of Dima Bajur. And I'm like, no, not really. Them guys.
Demu Burger?
What is he even saying?
What the fuck's Demu Burger? What does they have like really bad fucking like A1 on there or some shit?
Sounds like some black metal shit.
Yeah, fucking.
I know who they are. I joke about them. If you ever seen,
their guitarist actually knows how to sing, but Shagrath is the leader of the band, and I can't understand
what. What the fuck is a shag rock?
Shagrath.
Towel rack? What?
Shagrat. I'm pretty sure that's a little vermin that ended up dead in my swimming pool once.
But a lot of the rock that I listen to and metal really has its history more in blues and the devil's music. You know, so soulful lyrics. You know, I really love music that actually has meaning. Like the lyrics mean something. Like one of my favorite kind of alternative heavy metal bands from the early 2000s to I'd say mid 2000s was a band called Hurt.
Yeah,
and they had a song that was all about like his fucking girlfriend going crazy thinking she was talking to God and killed their fucking baby in its crib because Jesus told her to. Like, that was Rapture. That was that song. Like, that fucking hits you in the fucking stomach hard when you hear the fucking lyrics to that fucking song.
You have to be pretty crazy to consider that Jesus would ask you to perform a late-term abortion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was that one dude.
Abraham?
Yeah.
Yeah, but God actually said,
hold on. Yeah, God stopped
dude. I just wanted to know if you were willing to do it. Here's a goat.
Yeah.
Fun with your son, dude. I didn't really want you to do it. Calm down.
Like, he tested his resolve, and then he handed him Satan's pet to slaughter.
But that was a great heavy metal song, though, man. When it, like, first you're listening to it, and you're like, what is this all about? Because he's all singing about how, like, Jesus talks to her and all this and that, and I couldn't stop her from doing it. And then all of a sudden, it just kicks down that heavy guitar, and he goes, then she walked in the baby's room, knowing what she would do, leave me in absolute horror. And I'm like, God damn, this song rocks. You know, like, fucking hell.
Yeah, I feel that way about Angel of Death because the guitars start and then there's a scream and then
we're back
talking about like killing Jews. Like, it's great.
And I guess I like a lot of music too that just has kind of a cadence rhythm to it. That's kind of the purpose of blues rock. You know, like that dark southern shit. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I really love Sabaton too because every one of their songs is actually based in history. You know, fucking Primo Victoria is about D-Day, the D-Day invasion. Fucking Spartans. I love that fucking song. Obviously, that's about the 300 Spartans against the Persian army. The Battle of Thermopylae. You know,
Jamison's probably about to kick me out of this Google Hangout, but I like fucking Iced Earth for a lot of the same reason.
I love Iced Earth, man.
But their shit with Ripper that they did, that the Glorious Burden. With where they're doing like all the historical themed shit.
That's the one with the Gettysburg track, isn't it?
Yep, that's got the triple, like the half-hour long fucking Gettysburg triple play.
It's amazing you said that. I have actually been listening to that like last week just on repeat because Don't Tread on Me and Attila fucking rock my goddamn brains.
I like Declaration Day and 10,000 Strong.
Oh, they're great.
But you just really can't, like, I guess I'm old school. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm not like, I wasn't raised in the same time as my parents, but the music they had when they were younger, I grew to appreciate. So a lot of the rock I listen to is a lot more classic rock.
Here's the crazy shit. Like, I grew up on the Beatles, and I used to like Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I used to play that shit. And when my mom was away, like, I guess she, like, came home early one day, and I had AC/DC's album on. I think it was Dirty Deeds. And I was sitting there listening to We've Got Big Balls. And like, that was it for me. My whole life just changed dramatically.
Now, when it comes to stuff like that, Jackal. Jackal was a southern rock band that had an AC/DC kind of sound.
I remember Jackal. They were pretty good.
They had a fucking song called "She Loves My Cock." I love that song. I love that.
So someone
with a chainsaw.
Sucky, me love you long time.
Someone in here is saying that Magog loves Rick Astley.
I like Rick Astley, man. He is the one political candidate I would vote for because he will never give you up.
Yeah, who the fuck doesn't like
He's
Rick
never
Astley?
going to let you down.
Oh, Jesus, people don't understand how much I love the '80s. I really do love '80s music. Like,
I do too, but the heavy metal shit. I like some '80s stuff, man. I like Danger Zone.
Man. I like
Kenny
it.
Loggins, man.
Fucking Kenny Loggins is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Jamison.
Oh, I listen to Kenny Loggins.
Jamison!
Yeah, what?
Danger Zone. Danger Zone.
But I'm kind of like y'all. My parents grew up listening to a lot of classic rock and oldies. My dad was kind of more classic rock. My mother was more oldies. So I'll actually go back and I got Elvis on my phone, stuff like that. But I would say my taste. I love a lot of heavy metal. I don't really like death or black metal, and I fucking hate rap metal.
I like some rap, but I like.
I've come to appreciate a lot of 70s and 80s rock, especially like Thin Lizzy and stuff like that. I think everybody who doesn't like Thin Lizzy.
Oh yeah, Thin Lizzy's great.
Fucking. As far as like 70s, everybody always names like Zeppelin. You know,
I love that.
I love Zeppelin. I love all that, and like I really do. I'm a huge Zeppelin fan. I'm probably one of the biggest Doors fan you'll ever meet too. Jim Morrison.
I like the Doors.
I love
fucking amazing. That was 60s, but still 60s and 70s. But
I'm from Alabama, so you got to know I love Leonard Skinner. Obviously, that's
Skinner. Yeah, right. But
I would say I like the whole progression from oldies to rock and roll, like that early Chuck Berry and into fucking. I don't really care for the Beatles. I was always more of a Rolling Stones fan.
Yeah, me too.
My mom is a Beatles fan. My dad is a Rolling Stones fan, and I joke because it's like I'm like the Alice Cooper hard rock, heavy metal, Megadeth fan. But so my parents are the progression of music, and then it ends up with their offspring being fucking a metalhead.
There's a few Rolling Stone songs I like. I never got into them, and I had a phase like everyone else in middle and early high school where you listen to the Beatles, and like after that I was like, I don't give a fuck anymore.
My Beatles phase passed by the time I found AC/DC.
There is one Rolling Stone song that no matter if you hate or love, nobody I have ever met. I have met people who hate the Rolling Stones but love that one song they did.
Painted Black?
It is just epic.
I love Painted Black.
Fucking Sympathy for the Devil.
Oh yeah,
that is a great.
That's the Vietnam throwback right there, man. Dudes were listening. Like if you played, was it Call of Duty Black Ops, the original one, where you're sitting in the fucking the rib boat, like flying through like the Mekong Delta, listening to that shit and fucking up VCs on the coast.
That's definitely Painted Black. Painted Black is a Vietnam sounding song for sure. Yeah.
So,
but you get into the 70s. What I was getting at though, you get into the 70s and people forget about like Baba O'Reilly by the Who, and fucking songs like that really define a generation. Fucking Rush, man. Yeah. Rush was awesome.
Rush is good. Rush's first two albums were really good. Before they started getting like super political.
I appreciate Rush more than I actually like them. I couldn't sit down and actually listen to them. But the 70s, like you're saying, you're also starting to get a little bit of a lot of hard rock and punk influence, stuff like that. That's when the Ramones and Motorhead started showing up, and I fucking love me some Ramones.
I love the Ramones. I like the Sex Pistols. I like Supergrass. I like fucking Black Flag. Black Flag's okay, but I like all that.
Heavy Fist in the chat says CCR.
Yeah. CCR.
Creedence Clearwater.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's my shit right there, man.
Heavy Fisted, so now I can do my dude impression. They stole my Creedence tapes, man.
If you want to talk about the soundtrack to the Vietnam War, just play some CCR.
Oh, CCR definitely.
Dude, Jamison and I, man, I remember there was a time Jamison and I were like, I was taking him back to Shanahan when he drove for Werner, and we were coming back from, were we coming back from our apartment, or were we coming back from before we moved in together? I don't remember, but
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dude, when we were like driving down 55 in the middle of the night, like 1 in the fucking morning, listening to CCR.
Yeah, dude, we did that a lot.
Okay, yeah, we did. We would listen to like oldies and shit, man, because like we love heavy metal, but you gotta appreciate a lot of stuff, and we'd be listening to like fucking Del Shannon and.
Well, yeah, I mean, I grew up. I grew up on the oldies, listening to that every day. My mom, she was also another big Doors fan and Rolling Stones and shit like that. My dad was more Beatles and Elvis, though he preferred the Beatles before they discovered drugs.
Did you guys watch Joe Rogan's interview with Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith?
Really? He interviewed Tyler?
Yeah, just awesome. The other day. And I was watching that, and they were talking about the music, you know? And Steven Tyler brought up a really good point. Like with new audio recording, you know, digital technology and all that stuff, I mean, it's not like singers don't have to work or bands don't have to work, but they can throw your voice through like a thing and it just tunes it.
Auto-tune.
And you sound fucking great, right? You just sound great. And, but back in his day, he was talking, it's like you had to be good. You couldn't just walk into a studio, a recording studio, and suck balls. And that's why I don't think we get that raw sound anymore, because people don't necessarily have to be that great. They'll just end up sounding good on the records anyway.
Dave Mustaine did an interview with Guitar World back in 2004. I still have the I up until a couple years ago, I still had the magazine. It's probably in storage somewhere. This is about the time I was learning to play guitar, so I was watching a lot of Rude Awakening. Because for those of you who don't know, I was self-taught. I used to actually teach myself how to play guitar by watching Rude Awakening, watching Megadeth videos, and that's where I got a lot of my fucking influence and my sound from. And eventually I grew into like learning shit off of tabs, and then I started taking lessons. Once I had like accomplished myself a little bit, I had started taking lessons after the fact, but that was just to kind of progress what I'd already, just kind of give myself some direction. And it was nothing heavy metal. I was taught purely classical music, jazz, bebop. Like that's what I learned. I actually went to go learn another art form under actually a guy who was big in the Christian, like the Cornerstone Christian music scene. Because I was living with a pastor at the time. Good dude, Stu Heiss. He was part of the Resurrection Band. For those of you who listen to like that form of music.
Probably none of them.
Probably none of them.
Yeah,
I don't listen to it either.
Yeah, if they're good. A problem with a lot of Christian bands is that they drone.
Yeah, well, contemporary Christian music, the problem is like it's 4-chord progression, and it's like it's no musical skill.
All right, guys.
It's very
all right, guys. All right, scale it back now.
I actually, me and Jamison are Christians, so we can talk about it.
No, I'm not even talking about the religious stuff. I'm talking about what you just said, like that. Non-musician here. Okay, you're saying words. I know it's English.
Basically, he's saying it's very bland and boring.
Okay, he's over there like I got dabs. I got dabs and
tabs is like really simplified guitar sheet.
Four scales down. What the fuck does that even mean? I don't even know what the fuck.
4 scales down.
Like and like visual artists don't have to do that. Like I'm a visual artist. People are like, "How do you do it?" I'm like, pencils. Everybody gets that, right? Everybody gets
quick. 4-chord is referring to a 4-chord pop song. Have you ever listened to? Well, I know you have. Just Mother living in fucking Journey.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, they really made the 4-chord pop song.
Fucking love Journey though.
Yeah.
The Beatles.
I love them, but that song, Keep On Believing, that is straight up like the epitome of 4-chord pop songs.
She Loves Me, Yeah, is a 4-chord progression song.
Well, yeah, but music was simple back then. I mean,
yeah, music was very simple.
The Beatles barely even knew how to play instruments when they first started. Like they literally had someone playing the washboard because they didn't fucking know anything.
How about that hot ass triangle player, man?
I know, right? I'm gonna need more cowbell.
How ironic is it that turned out that Ringo Starr actually knew more about music than the other two? And
Ringo Starr is like, he's the man. Okay, I love
Ringo. Like Ringo got the shit end of the stick, man.
And he has had like the most successful like musical career. He's played with like these awesome orchestras and stuff, and
he's the only one that hasn't aged 40 years or died.
Or 40.
Yep.
Let's face it, man. Paul McCartney is up there with Steven Tyler and Mick Jagger.
Oh, he's got one foot in the grave, the other on a banana peel. He's fucked.
Just remember, like, you know, every cigarette you smoke gives a minute to Keith Richards' life.
Yeah, he can survive anything. But speaking of music, you know what I can't wait for? The movie Bohemian Rhapsody.
Ooh, dude. I usually hate
I'll give it a
like these
chance.
kind of like hop on the bandwagon kind of biopics about musicians, stuff like that. I'm gonna be there on opening night for that one because good fucking God, that looks amazing.
The cool thing about Queen, and I mean, like, not to say that a band named Queen with a faggot singer is is really cool. I do like their music. But I mean, let's face it, man. He rocked the world wearing women's pants. Like that's something to be said. And then I think Fat Bottom Girls must have been a jab at that guy because they're singing Fat Bottom Girls talking about like fucking.
What are you talking about though? Freddie Mercury was outwardly spoken bisexual, not gay. He loved women. He loved women. He loved pussy. He loved it. He had multiple girlfriends.
But you know what, man? I don't. Well, here's the thing. I don't know if you know this or not, but like you're either all in or you're not. Like once you have sex with a dude, you're fucking gay. Like I'm sorry, man. Women can be bisexual. Dudes, like once you have sex with another dude, you are
entitled.
I don't care if you.
You are entitled to that incredibly wrong opinion, but.
What is this toxic masculinity bullshit we're hearing?
Right. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't like SJW talking points either, but I also don't like people who are like, that just doesn't exist. No, I've got a friend who's bi, and it doesn't bother me.
Hey,
over a job, we just refer them to half gays.
Yeah, like half gay.
How do you be half gay? Like you're having. I don't have sex with a woman. Okay, that doesn't happen. How do you have sex? Man.
Everybody's a little gay, just a little.
Well, it's Hollywood. Everyone's gay every once in a while.
No, I'm talking about everybody. I don't know a single guy who watches porn with a dude in it fucking a chick and goes, maybe I'm a little gay.
That is a good point.
Hold on. Jamison will tell you. Jamison and Missy will tell you. We've had this conversation. I cannot see a dude in my porn.
Well, you're a unique one because there's plenty of people who watch porn going, yeah, that's a big throbbing cock. You fucked the shit out of that chick.
Nope. That's a little gay.
Well, I think the idea is really self-insertion there, but whatever.
Yeah, of course, obviously. But you're still like looking at a dude fuck a chick, and so you're literally looking at a guy's fucking junk.
Yeah,
it's funny. I can.
Chris, Heavy Fisted here is asking, does it still count if you're blindfolded and drunk?
Are your hands bound?
Do the balls touch?
Well, if you look him in the eyes, it's gay. Because I mean, I don't know. Okay, so true story. We got this hippie guy, man. My adopted family, his dad, his father-in-law. So his wife, like, she grew up with this hippie fucking parents. They're like, and 1970s, 60s, 70s fucking hippies. Like he's actually in a band called Hot Rocks. It's a Rolling Stones cover band. And they're quite good. I've seen and he's got the energy of Mick Jagger. But this dude is like out of his mind. He like literally, if there was a drug, he did it. And he did it like, he hasn't smoked weed in 35 years. He hasn't done any drugs in 35 years. But I swear to God, like when he sweats, man, the whole room gets high. And he'll tell you there's a difference between a hippie and a stoner. He goes, a hippie actually believes in a political cause. A stoner wants to get high. And if you ask him which one were you, he goes, oh, I was a fucking stoner.
I always had a joke to my friend that's bi. He's with a girl now. He's like exclusive though. Like it's one of those weird ones. Like if he's with a dude, he's with a dude. If he's with a girl, he's with a girl. But anyway, I was talking to him and I'm like, you're a part-time gay, which means you don't get any health benefits.
Well, I mean, there is no health benefit to being gay, all right? Like, let's face it, the gay AIDS, man, they'll get you. That's how Freddie Mercury died. So true story. This guy, he actually calls my buddy at like 1:30 in the morning on like a work night, wakes this dude up, and he goes, like, he was like watching some porn, and he accidentally stumbled upon some gay porn, and he's like watching this shit, and he's like, "What the fuck, man?" He wakes up his wife at 1 in the morning, and like calls my buddy on the phone, and he goes, "These guys fuck just like we do. They're fucking eyeball to eyeball, man." So to answer your question, like if you're blindfolded and drunk, It depends. Did you put the blindfold on and like willingly go into this shit? Like, are we playing Who's in My Mouth, or is this? Which, by the way, a lifeguard taught me that game. Or you turn on the lights in the shower and play.
Surprised it wasn't a priest.
No, that's Who's in My Ass.
Ooh.
Completely different set of rules on that game. So, but the court.
I ain't gay. I've been fucked in the ass before, and I didn't like it. What?
Take me to jail. Lock me up. Throw away the key. I ain't afraid to fuck a man in his ass. Right?
I swear to God, man, sometimes it's just like the craziest stories people share. That's why I love getting on streams and just talking to people, because you will learn so much about the human race.
Chicago.
Shit you don't want to know.
It's like you lose faith in humanity, but you're so fucking entertained you don't want to destroy it.
Chicago has stories up the ass. I don't know if he makes them up.
Poor choice of words there, Jamison.
Yeah,
No.
Jesus.
They were the perfect choice of words.
Yeah. He doesn't know if I'm.
Yeah, you say that, but you're gonna give me some fucking hearing aids now.
But Jamison has been there for some of these, so he knows I'm not making this shit up.
Does your wife know Jamison?
No. Well, she does now.
Knows what?
Misty, get the divorce papers ready. You married a homo.
Oh, sorry, Misty.
She says that she knew, and I told her I was gay before our first date, and that is a true story.
Yeah, there are screenshots. I have them.
There are screenshots. She has.
What?
Them.
When the hell did you sleep with a man?
No, it was perfect. You know, I told her that I was gay, so she would send me nudes, and you know.
Did it work?
Oh yeah, one of those things.
Yeah.
God, that is more pathetic than a high school guy I knew that put his MySpace in bi so he could pick up women.
She actually sent me nudes before I said that. So
I usually just like stare a girl deep in her eyes until her soul like wants to fuck me. It's great.
It doesn't work, does it?
That's
actually,
not a real thing. That's not a real thing. Every time I've made love, they've been passed out. What?
What?
What are you, the cops?
I'm a bass player. I just play an open E chord and they're already wet.
Yeah, bullshit.
You're a bass player?
Nobody, unless it's Slayer, nobody goes like, man, that's one hot bassist.
Hey, you know what? Cliff Burton and Lemmy.
And
Nobody has
Megadeth
fucking more
and
girls
Slayer.
than
You're the bassist? You might as well have been like, I'm a virgin.
Hold on.
I played the virgin instrument.
Hey, he does.
No, that's
he
the
does
flute.
have.
That's the flute.
He does have one advantage. Theoretically, as I have seen in the movie Private Parts, a girl can sit on an amp, and if it's a low enough note, you know, it can vibrate her nether regions.
Yeah, I
just
did that
like
with the car
I
sound
watched
system.
the shit.
I did that with the car sound system. Doesn't mean it's a goddamn, like, she's not going to sit on his guitar. Like, what is he going to do? Like, hey, baby, let me hook this up to an amp for you so you can hear it.
Yeah.
You would be amazed how...
I'm just fucking with, man. I have mad respect for, especially guys who play, like, stand-up bass and shit. Like, that's fucking crazy, man.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Korn.
I
Korn's
What the hell do you
bassist
mean
is
stand-up?
crazy.
The
Yeah,
12-year-old
Korn's bassist. Okay, yeah, let's...
What?
Yeah, let's bring this around for a second. I'm not a fan of Korn, but their bassist, the one who turned Christian, that dude was fucking nuts on
That slap bass thing that he did gave Korn their sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And
Actually,
back when
like
I was... So true story, I was at this guy Mark Sherry's house, and I'm still friends with his son Ray. Me, Cody, and Ray, like, we go way back. Like, we grew up with each other. We played hockey with each other. I lost contact with Ray for a little bit, but...
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
I really think that you have so many stories, you should have a T-shirt that says, okay, so true story. You should just walk around with a T-shirt.
On the back, it should just say, and then I found $20.
okay, so true story. Like, just on a T-shirt right there.
So, like, this may not be interesting to you guys, but this is the first time I ever saw porn. So, we're
Great way
listening
to start a story.
This is the first time I watched porn. I was maybe like 8, okay?
And then your uncle into the room with a magazine and with a very sinister look on his face, right?
No, like this is actually the cool uncles. So
isn't that what I said?
Porn, Oh, okay, yeah, shit. Korn is playing on the TV. They're playing Freak on a Leash. It's like some major show. I don't really remember. It was the Super Bowl, I think, like '98 or some shit. Packers lost. I was upset. I'm a Packers fan.
Fucking cheesehead.
So I'm not even a cheesehead. Anyway. Point being, like, I go into this little side room, and my buddy Ray is in there, like, looking at these nudes that these high school girls that he was friends with sent to him. And I'm like, mind you, I'm like 8 at the time, and I'm sitting in the back of the room, and I look up, and I see, like, this girl on her couch just spread eagle with a hair comb up her cooch, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I think I like it.
You think?
And
You
then
only thought you liked it then?
Oh, I knew I liked it. Like, I didn't know what it was. I just knew I liked it. So, yeah, I got kicked out of the room by some adult. Like, some adult comes in and goes, I don't think he should be in here. And I got thrown out. It was bullshit.
Oh, it's not, I don't think he should be in here and not put that shit away. What the fuck's wrong with you?
No, it was get him out of here if you're going to watch. No,
I remember the first time I discovered porn, my dad came in and caught me, and he was like, remember, son, if you masturbate, you'll go blind. I said, Dad, I'm over here.
True story. That wasn't the beginning of my story. I was saying true story to his story.
Oh, you're the true story guy. I get it.
There is something we need to talk about here that is very depressing.
R. Lee Ermey's death.
Oh, I've got a more depressing. No matter what story you share.
No, Jamie. Let's go.
The reboot of Thundercats?
Yes, that.
Oh,
that's not as depressing as my story. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker, you're not an artist. Oh, wait. No, yes, you are.
Yes, I am. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Thundercats art is terrible, but get this, guys. Ford just announced that starting in just a couple months, they are no longer going to offer cars.
Yep. They're going to make the Mustang.
They're going to make the Mustang and the Focus.
Crossover. Well, the Focus is going to be a crossover now.
Right. It's their hybrid Focus, and that is it. So just trucks. That's
here's
it.
My opinion of that move. Ford makes most of their money on their trucks.
Yes, I know that, but here's my opinion on the move. I just bought a brand new 2018 Fusion. I just bought a car that's now never going to be sold again.
We're not showing video. You said, well, I can't go down there. You guys won't see it, but I got a 2014 Ford Fusion. I got American Racing rims and Pirelli tires on it. And you know what's funny? The Fusion was the #2 top selling car from 2015, 16, 17, and 18 models.
Yep. I love
it. I have never been more glad to the fact that down here we don't make Fords, we make Hondas and Mitsubishis.
Whatever, bro. You can.
Oh God.
The smell
that's my fucking job.
The smell of burnt rice where you're from must be awful.
So we got another true story coming up here. Jamison was with me on this one. Jamison probably knows what story I'm about to tell when we were driving past DeKalb.
No, I don't remember any of your stories.
You paid the ticket.
That story. Okay, I remember this one.
I got caught going really fast.
Quick. They were supposed to bring back the Ford Bronco, but they never did. And
it's still coming.
It's still coming? Because I remember seeing
That's what she said.
I remember seeing, the promotional picture for it, and it just looked like shit. It looked more like the Bronco 2.
Yeah, that's probably why they're not releasing it right now.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a retro, redesign of the original Bronco, and it's supposed to kind of look similar to the original Bronco.
Kind of like the DeLorean that's supposed to be coming back.
Nobody wants a fucking DeLorean.
Fuck you, I want a DeLorean.
I don't even know how the DeLorean can come back. Not in its original state anyway. It was stainless steel. That's too expensive to build. The fucking thing weighed a metric ton, and you couldn't get it in any other color because paint would flake off of it. It's stainless steel.
Yeah, and you know why it was time traveling with 88 miles an hour? Because it was impossible to get them up above fucking 80.
Yeah.
But
not without the 121 gigahertz.
Well, that's also because it only it was only a 4-cylinder, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
When it was supposed to be 16. Or not 16, but 8-cylinder.
Yeah, 16 valve.
So for those of you who can right now, I would go to O'Reilly's parts and just type in part number 121G.
Yeah, it's flux capacitor.
Yeah.
Flux capacitor. So you've done it, you know.
Yeah, Star Trek. But I actually I know.
Did you just say Star Trek?
Star Trek?
It's fucking Back to the Future, bro.
Whatever. I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about those movies. I'm one of the few guys who does not give a shit about that.
Look, man.
Hey,
Michael Reeves will not stand for this.
I have a Bic lighter here, and he's like, "Goddamn Klingons!" Like what?
Whatever. Fucking sci-fi shit I don't care about.
Christopher Reeves will not stand for this. I call him Michael Reeves. I'm thinking Michael J. Fox.
Well, Michael J. Fox won't sit still for that.
Yeah. He's not going to sit still and take this.
Actually, you know what? I don't really care about the Back to the Future movies, but Michael J. Fox has my respect. He's a really cool guy.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean you can't joke about him.
Yeah, and if you ever need somebody to play the maracas in your band, he's a natural.
Or the tambourine.
That was mean. Lord, I apologize.
Are you fucking Larry the Cable Guy now?
Lord, I apologize. Be with starving pygmies down New Guinea. Amen.
He's trying not to give him a fucking free Pepsi.
Jesus Christ.
Y'all heard it? Y'all heard of that story?
Nah.
The New, I think it was New Guinea or Papua New Guinea. They started a clan war that killed 10 fucking people because of a dispute over a can of fucking Pepsi. It was amazing.
Jesus.
It's like
I could have just gone and bought him a fucking 24 pack.
The gods truly must be crazy.
It really was.
Fucked up.
God, who remembers that fucking movie? The gods must be crazy.
I love that movie.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So
we're gonna crazy.
Them little fucking African kids find a Coke bottle and they think it's from the gods and they start throwing it up in the air trying to send it back to the gods.
What the fuck?
Fucking rhino that comes in every time someone sets a fire and stomps it out.
That sounds like some fucking Wayne Brothers shit.
It was an old HBO movie comedy, and it's a fucking classic.
Yeah, it's probably heavily racist these days, but go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, so I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
AKA funny.
Yeah. Fucking hell. They don't know how to do comedy anymore. Jesus.
Speaking of comedy, I saw Deadpool, and it actually was genuinely funny. It lacked a lot of teeth, though. I like it. It's the only thing that kept it from getting a perfect rating. It just
about the new one?
Yeah, it felt safe, you know. I mean, it had all the jokes and the blood, gore, and all the shit in there, but surprisingly, a lack of titties I noticed. But there was no jokes that really just went ooh, like nothing was edgy. It was very safe.
That's just the way they all are nowadays. Yeah. Though, but as long as it was enjoyable.
You don't have to say about these.
Are you telling me that Domino was in the movie and Deadpool did not do any boob jokes?
There was no boob jokes. And actually, I will say this, as much as I did not care for the casting of Domino, she was okay in that movie. Just okay.
Well,
I don't think they really got her character right, because she was the problem with the Deadpool movies that I'm starting to get is that everybody is a little too on the joke. And so there's no straight guy, the straight face guy to like play off of Deadpool. Like even Colossus is actually starting to get a little bit on the joke in this one. And it just really kind of steals away a lot of humor, because some of the best parts of the original was the fact that Colossus was the straight-faced, black and white morality superhero, and Deadpool was this fucking mercenary that was just swearing, cussing, cutting off his own hand and shit like that, and making. Actually, here's a good example of an edgy joke that Deadpool 1 made that you wouldn't see in Deadpool 2. When he cuts off his hand and goes, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret," when blood splatters onto his face.
Yeah.
Now, this is Jeg, the DC cocksucker.
The what?
Now, to be fair, I actually, before they switched to Marvel Now and the MCU got really shitty, I read almost all Marvel and was a big Marvel fan.
X-Men, Punisher, and Thor, my man.
Why is it that every time people start talking about comic books, I am the only one that's ever part of the stream that is like an actual edgelord when it comes to comic books?
2008.
It's the only thing in my life that I'm actually an edgelord of. Like, seriously, people are like, oh, fucking Superman will kick fucking Professor Xavier's ass. Oh, blah, blah. Wolverine's the best comic book character. And I'm over here like, Constantine, Spawn, much better than everything.
Yes.
I do like Spawn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I don't even like the X-Men for the most part. I think their existence in the Marvel Universe is a fucking mistake.
You are a mistake, and your parents should never have had you because the X-Men are
They are
fucking
not
awesome.
consistent within their own universe. If they
Who
were,
cares?
how the hell are people in New York City going to be praising Spider-Man with all his fucking powers and then flip around and then give the X-Men shit?
Yeah, that
Because he's neighborhood-friendly Spider-Man. Wolverine's a dick.
he's only defending X-Men because their cartoon show had the baddest intro song ever. It was
Absolutely.
You know what? I'll defend the X-Men. I'll defend the X-Men cartoons because the X-Men cartoons and X-Men movies were set within their own universe, so it's a lot more consistent.
And here's the other thing: the chick who played Rogue in the X-Men movies was like the redeeming quality. Like I could watch those movies just to watch her. She was fucking gorgeous.
She got naked in
Storm.
True Blood.
Really? I need to go watch that movie.
Yeah, she gets naked almost every fucking episode.
Now,
I just became a True Blood fan.
Now, my God,
Yeah, shit.
Misty agrees, which she caught what I have and now has the flu. But
Oh,
she
what is
also
the flu?
mentioned
What
she
kind of flu
also
causes spots down
mentioned-
there?
she also mentioned Watchmen.
Yeah, that's good, but it's hard to judge that one because like the movie was actually really darker than the comic book. Like the comic book, it like ended with like a bunch of giant squids, and you're like, what? Giant squids? But the movie actually made more sense. You know?
I read the comic book for the first time right before the movie right before I saw the movie, which I didn't see in theater, saw on DVD, and
in a movie, which pisses me off.
I saw it in theaters, and I almost
they're
pulled a
okay.
Pee Wee Herman when that chick took her shirt off.
She said she said the dialogue was much better in the comics, and her favorite character was actually censored in the movie,
So that pisses me off.
and that pissed her off.
Her favorite character being
Your favorite character being?
You really have to ask.
if you don't say Rorschach, then no one cares.
Yes.
You're-
Yes.
Rorschach.
Wait,
Fucking
how was
dumb.
he was censored
Wait,
in the movie?
Isn't that the guy who's the singer of Demu Burger?
No, that's Shag
Or is
Ruff.
that? Oh, Shawshank. That's right.
Yeah, that's my favorite Rorschach joke because you know who Rorschach really is, right? Like Dr. Rorschach, he made the ink blot test. You know, he made the ink blot test. You know that you look at and you kind of see whatever.
Oh
see.
yeah.
Yeah, that's Rorschach, which is why the character Rorschach wore that mask that had the ink on it. I love the joke where it's like, who's this Rorschach guy and why does he have all these pictures of my parents fighting?
Yeah, my favorite line from him is, you know, where he says, "You all think I'm locked in here with you, but you're locked in here with me."
Yeah, that was. No, he was definitely censored in the movie, but the movie was still very faithful.
The director's cut of it, if you've seen that, is a little bit better.
Yeah.
I don't think I have.
Definitely.
You know,
Well, you can't watch a Zack Snyder film and not watch the director's cut. I've pretty much learned that.
And Jeffrey Dean Morgan played the comedian perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
as far as like comic books go, the only ones I've really read, I read some of the X-Men stuff, some of the Spider-Man stuff, but really the only ones I ever got into was Punisher because I'm sorry,
Warzone
this is Frank.
or
War Journal.
Max.
War Journal was best.
The Max
Like-
Empress.
I like the fact that Frank Castle does bad shit to bad guys with guns. Like, be like Frank, man.
You know what I loved about Frank Castle is I remember having a comic book because, like, okay, the Ghost Rider's big power is the penance stare, and it works. It only works on people who truly are guilty, right, of like a crime. So he stares into your eyes and burns your fucking soul out. It's a badass power. He actually stared Frank Castle in the eyes to give him the penance stare, and it didn't work. And Frank was like, "I don't feel guilty." I was like, that's a badass right there.
Well,
that is a motherfucking badass.
This actually goes with a tweet that I saw at Comic Books Pros, and the ones at Marvel's nowadays are just batshit fucking insane, including Gail Simone. But one of them, I forgot who, was talking about an issue where the Punisher went up against the new version of Carol Danvers, which is Miss Marvel, and Miss Marvel started Civil War II because she was illegally imprisoning people for crimes they would possibly commit in the future without trial. Yeah. And she said about this that I think it was actually a thing in the book where Miss Marvel was actually criticizing Frank Castle for standing next to the bad people. Is obviously kind of like being a little bit of a play between like Antifa and like the Nazis, they call it, and the alt-right and shit like that. Well, Frank Castle, you know, he's not a fascist. He's not even political. Like he doesn't even really have ideology. He is just raw punishment. That is this whole thing.
Machine guns and rocket propelled grenades, man. That's where.
Yeah, like he doesn't give a shit about the system or anything like that. He doesn't even give a shit about petty crimes or even like that. If you do like an abject horrible crime like murder, rape, trafficking, whatever, like something that everybody universally agrees is wrong, he will punish you. That is just how he works.
Now, I feel a little ashamed. The only comics that I really read a lot of were the Alien comics. And the Serenity comics.
You've got a big Deadpool book you haven't read.
Yeah, I've got a huge-ass Deadpool comic collection that I have not read at all.
Hold on. When you're talking about Deadpool, are you talking about pre-Marvel Now Deadpool? Are you talking about like the Joe Kelly runs and stuff like that?
I think it's got both.
Okay, because there's a Daniel Way run, which is a lot of people give Daniel Way a lot of shit. I think his run was just it was just aimless more than anything. So he just had to compensate with a lot of cringy jokes, which kind of overdid the character. But the Joe Kelly run of Deadpool is fucking fantastic.
I still think John Constantine is one of the best.
I love Constantine
in comedy or in comic books. I'm the biggest fan of Hellblazer, and one of my favorite jokes of all time is actually from a Hellblazer comic book. It was like this 5-panel part where he's talking with some guy. I can't even remember what character, and they're talking about the joke. And John Constantine was like, a woman dies, and on her way to the pearly gates, St. Peter comes out and greets her. And then all of a sudden she hears all these drills and drilling sounds and screams coming from within heaven. And she's like, what's going on in there? And St. Peter says, well, when you first get to heaven, we have to drill 2 holes in your back for your wings and 1 hole in your head for your halo. And she goes, fuck that, I'd rather go to hell. And St. Peter goes, well, if you go to hell, you'll be sodomized and raped for all eternity by demons. And she goes, that's okay, I've already got 3 holes for that. That was actually in Hellblazer. Like, that was actually in a fucking issue of John Constantine.
And that, my friends, is why I still read DC Comics, because they really did not let the SJW shit take them over. They got close. It's still present, especially in Batgirl during the Rebirth series, but they do not let a lot of SJW shit take over.
It may be true for DC. They've definitely lightened up over the years, but not true for Vertigo. Like, even though DC owns them, they are the darker adult comics.
Is it bad that I only just recently, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago, found out that SJW was actually a thing?
That's about when it came about.
That's about when it really kicked off. I mean, it's been around since like the 70s, basically, but this new rendition of social justice is
like
started like Gamergate days, you know?
That's when it really became batshit.
Yeah, 2014 and up basically is when it really kicked off.
So I was on a dating site because fucking I'm a helpless loser and I got to get onto like fucking Tinder and shit.
I mean, you both, brother. Dating scene is fucking bullshit these days.
Oh God, there was some chick who posted like, don't message me or don't swipe right if you voted for Trump or you won't go to a feminist rally with me. And I'm just sitting there thinking like, bitch, everyone just swiped left on you, or like everyone just hit that red X, like dislike. Ain't no one gonna swipe right on you.
Well, Jim Jones, he was also very big on social justice. He'd been using that word, ever since.
Isn't he the guy who killed a whole bunch of people with Kool-Aid?
Yeah,
Yes.
and a senator.
Yeah, he's the Kool-Aid
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Yeah, he used to talk about social justice all the time when his church started.
Oh, well, I mean, shit. Motherfucker, I mean, you just look at the world today, man. Look at how people are acting. I think people have been drinking the Kool-Aid.
Well, yeah, that's sort of a saying now.
I'm gonna write an article.
Like, you wouldn't believe, like,
This
some of the
Kool-Aid came in a
shit I
Clorox-labeled can.
some of the shit I hear from SJWs these days really just,
Like,
being from the South, we hear a lot of civil stories about the civil rights movement, like pre-civil rights and all the true injustices that were done to minorities, especially black people, like Emmett Till and stuff like that. You wouldn't believe how much like fucking racist KKK, darky hanging psychos a lot of these SJWs come off as. Not necessarily about race. Sometimes they are.
They're all
I want you to think about something that I saw. It said, straight black men are the white people of black people.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's an old one.
Yeah,
No,
that is an old one.
I don't even hear their rhetoric anymore. Every time I watch these, that's why it's so hard for me to do videos. Every time I see a fucking SJW talking point, all I hear is, we all float down here.
See, I don't see how you YouTubers that riff on that stuff stomach it. I can't even make it through their videos.
I get paid. Money's pretty good.
You have to excuse me on this one because I don't have social media really anymore. I still have a Facebook, and I sometimes makes I think I made like 4 posts in the last 6 months. I think it's all cerebral garbage. I don't do the whole, like, memes can be funny, but for the most part, I think most of that Facebook shit is just like. It's the modern form of brain rot, and I think that's why people these days are acting like they are, is because we have this mass fucking media.
Facebook is where the devil makes potty.
It really is.
I definitely think that's true.
No,
It used to be
Magog,
4chan, now it's Facebook.
4chan is fucking conservative as shit recently, though.
yeah,
Like, you wouldn't believe it. Like, there are threads on Poll promoting Christianity and like traditional values. I'm like, what the fuck happened here?
I stopped doing forums a couple years ago because, like, Jamison will tell you, back on the Megadeth boards, man, I was always a PW fan. I never got into that TA bullshit because it was all
nobody
like,
here knows what that is.
oh fuck.
Yeah.
Well, there goes there goes my true story.
Just reveal what the acronyms are, and I'm sure we can follow.
PW
Post-horror.
was post-horror, where you just post anything. Total Anarchy is the same thing, just be more of an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay,
Total
so there's
Anarchy
between
was
a
like-
troll and a shit poster.
Shit right
Yeah.
now. You guys are
I
really
think.
talking about that shit that nobody knows about right now.
But anyway, Magog, you weren't here for the intro, but I read off an article that says centrists are the most hostile to democracy, not extremists.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is an article from the New York Slimes, but
I'm not a threat to democracy then.
This is exactly why their ideology is dying, though. Like, when you have feminists going, we should have a national castration day, and then they turn around and say it's about equality. Go fuck yourself. We all see through it. You know, dumb.
Yeah,
I think we should hold on. I agree. We should have a national castration day. One day a year, we should take a bunch of pedophiles, put them on TV, and cut their fucking junk off.
No, they're advocates for
My state just made that law. That's happening regardless here.
Cool.
Yeah.
And luckily, the soy boys are castrating themselves with that low sperm count shit.
yeah, LGBT, some of them, they're starting to fucking go with the pedophile shit now.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I mean,
They're like, just because you're a pedophile doesn't mean you're a monster. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yes, it absolutely does.
Now, here's how bad pedophilia is. If that shit becomes illegal, I start shooting. I'm not even going to fucking lie or dance around that shit.
Well, now they're called
I got a gun for you.
pedosexuals. They're not pedophiles, they're pedosexuals. And
Whatever you are, you belong in a fucking gas chamber full of Zyklon B, you fucking creeps.
and there's some shit about maps being a term. I don't remember what it stands for.
Maps. Google.
Do you remember
Search
what
me.
it stands for?
Yeah.
I mean, NAMBLA?
Minor addicted persons.
Oh, it's
No,
minor
minor attracted.
minor attracted persons. And this is a new term for these.
Are we talking
people, too.
like Germany, kind of like it's okay to fuck a 14-year-old minor, or are we talking like by 8 it's too late, hard
Does it
candy
matter?
kind of shit?
It doesn't matter.
Does it? I
No.
don't know.
That hot redheaded tranny did a video on it.
Yeah, there was some.
Wait, did she
As-
say the hot redheaded tranny?
Ella.
Yeah.
Do those words even fucking exist in the same sentence?
I mean, Caitlyn Jenner.
No, Ella.
Some of them are
No, she said hot.
What can I say?
She just says some of them are convincing. What can she say?
I mean, Blair White, I'll give her that. But
No, man, Ella is really she's a.
No, this is a.
Oh, I should say he's definitely a looker. I'll give him that.
you know what?
This-
I'll give Blair White the she earns the respect for it.
Blair White, you guys.
This-
And just as based.
This trap is brand new. She's been on with Shu. She's friends with Shu.
Yes, her name is Ella. I've been saying her name for like 20 minutes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got people talking to me.
Aw, shit, bro.
Yeah.
I live under a rock, so I don't know.
Hang on, I will find her name.
I haven't watched
No.
Shoe on Head in a while. I haven't seen a fucking video with Shoe or Armor Skeptic in a while. Where the fuck are they?
Here's how like out of it I am. I only found out like 2 years ago that Game of Thrones was a popular television show.
Okay.
Okay, you ain't missing much, man.
I
Yeah,
love
apparently
Game
it's
of
been out for, like,
Thrones,
6
but
seasons.
I love Game of Thrones, I really do, but I also don't care when people are like, I've never seen it. Like, I'm not that type of person that's going to be like, you've never seen the greatest show. Like,
But you know what? People have been like that to me. Like, you've
Greatest
never
show.
seen the greatest show ever. Like,
Great show. That ain't Rome.
like that ain't Punisher. Speaking of, has anybody seen the Punisher series on Netflix?
I have. I really enjoyed it.
of course I
Dude,
have.
oh
don't
my God.
think I don't think they necessarily nailed Frank Castle right, but the show itself is fantastically written.
I don't think they got Jigsaw right.
I was
Jigsaw's better in the show. Jigsaw was a stupid character in the comic books.
I
Wasn't he born in like the movie though?
He wasn't, I think it's more of an emotional connection having him be like best friends with Castle. In the comic books, he was just like a low-level mafia guy that got fucked up by Castle, came back for revenge. Like
you know what? I'm just waiting for fucking Barracuda to come in.
Dude, speaking of, I want a fucking 1972 Barracuda with a 6-pack. Just throwing that out there.
I was worried about the actor that they chose, but he really came
Kunas?
through. Yeah, I think he
I
was
like
a good pick.
Are you talking about Punisher?
Yeah,
Kunas, yeah.
John Barenthal?
John Bernthal.
Yeah.
Bernthal.
Kunas.
yeah, Kunas from Fury, the
Fury
movie.
with Brad Pitt. Good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They escape out the bottom of a tank.
Or that one guy who got killed off in an episode of Pacific.
He was also in Walking Dead, the first 2 seasons of Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Another one I
he
haven't
was the
seen.
one that made the first 2 seasons watchable.
I loved going back and watching Walking Dead because I never really watched it. And then I watched The Punisher. Then I went back and watched The Walking Dead for the first time. And I was like, all I see is The Punisher. Like, that's not Shane. That's just The Punisher in zombie land.
You know what?
He pulls it off so well, he's going to be typecast now. I mean, it's so hard not to see The Punisher when you see John Bernthal.
You know what I really love about the Punisher series that I absolutely hated in the fucking Walking Dead series? Magog, I think you already know this one. The fucking gunplay.
Oh,
The-
God.
the
They destroyed
gun-
the python.
The gun effects and the gun usage and the Punisher is spot on fucking correct because they knew their audience was going to be mostly gun lovers. They absolutely knew it. There was going to be no SJWs watching that show. The vast majority of everyone who loves Punisher goes to fucking K. Let's not lie here.
Well,
The Walking Dead, on the other hand, has the worst fucking weapon effects and usage I have seen in any TV show.
well,
And I have contemplated going 50 miles down where they film and slapping the piss out of whoever plays the sheriff with the fucking python.
Well, you know, in the first season, they had the Python, that chrome-plated Python. For those who don't know, the nickel-plated Python ranges anywhere from about $2,600 to about $3,600 in value, depending on its condition.
Oh yeah.
That one was a mint condition one. They threw it across the ground and scraped it up, and then I don't know if you know this. When they were done with that, they actually destroyed that gun. They cut it in half. So
why bother if they don't do any real actual gun effects or anything with it?
Because they're anti-gun, and they didn't want that gun going back into the collector's market.
I don't care. It's a fucking nickel-plated sissy pistol.
The 44 Magnum?
No, the Python's a 357. The Anaconda's the 44.
Oh, okay. I was thinking the wrong one.
It's not like they don't make any. It's not like they don't make those guns. They fucking do. You know,
they don't.
Yeah, well, no, but I just hate seeing guns getting treated like that, you know?
Yeah,
I see those pictures of governments doing a buyback and then destroying shit ton of guns, and I'm just like, it's
like that's something that could have been in somebody's collection, and they could have been shooting fucking watermelons out their back porch, pissing off.
Yes,
I just got a gun that I've always wanted.
M1A.
I finally got one. I went to a gun show. And a guy was selling it, and it only cost me $530.
Ooh, let's guess. Is it a shotgun?
No.
Is it a pistol?
Nope.
Rifle.
So it's a rifle.
Yep.
It's not an AR-15, right?
No, I got 3 of those.
Okay. Genuine Russian AK.
The what?
Genuine Russian AK.
Yep.
Really?
Booyah.
AK-47 with a modified stock.
Yeah.
Is it Ishmaz or Sega, as they call it?
The what?
Saiga? That's a shotgun.
No, Sega, Siega. That's pronounced like the video game system Sega. That's actually Ishmaz. That's Ishmaz's U.S. production factory because they could not export them to the United States.
No, you don't understand.
Genuine Russian AK.
It is a 19. Oh. It is literally a was it 19? It's like a 1967 Kalashnikov.
Yeah.
So we're talking about first and second generation AKMs here, right?
Yeah.
Like the old school. Probably has a body count to its name, Kalashnikov.
Yeah, it still has it has a modified stock, but it's solid wood. It just doesn't have a grip. It has a thumb hole.
Oh,
it has one of the Brady Bill casualties.
Right.
Probably got to cut off barrel bayonet lug.
Yeah. It's got a bayonet lug on the front of it, but it's full barrel. It's just the stock on it. It doesn't have a handle that has a thumb grip, so you can hold it like a proper rifle. But because
go put a regular stock on it.
Because I don't want to. I like the thumb.
They made a lot of AKs back then, just with that kind of stock.
Because with the kick of that gun, you have to grip something more than just the stock.
There's no kick on that thing.
Bullshit.
There's a little bit more than an AR-15.
I mean, yeah, sure, it shoots standard rounds that the AR shoots, but it's not. It's
maybe it's because
it's full metal jacket rounds, so they're still pretty long. You know, they're still got some powder behind them. You know,
it's a 30-30, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's basically a 30-30, that's the old cowboy action fucking 30-30 guns. I don't know, man. I don't think there's a whole lot of kick to the AK.
The only difference is it's
not gone.
It is. The only difference is it is modified as a semi-auto. Obviously. Like he couldn't have it in the country, and it shoots 5.56 NATO rounds. You know.
Oh, so we're talking like a 74 or later.
Yeah, 5.56.
Oh no, you said 5.56 or 5.5?
Yeah. No, 5.56. But it's 5.56 by 45.
That's the AR-15.
That's AR-15 round. And that's why I bought it. I was like, ew, an AK-47, but it shoots the same rounds I already own.
Now, I will say this in defense of the kick with the AK. It's not that the AK kicks hard, it's that it kicks up.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, it's because you got that big fucking off-centered steel receiver.
The damn thing weighs a metric ton, too. You really want to be able to hold it. Like, you don't want it slipping out of your hands because it'll kick upward. They all do that because of the fucking shortness of the barrel. Believe it or not, AR-15s and AK-47s both have short barrels. They're carbine versions of, like the AR-15 is a carbine version of an M16.
Yeah.
And an M16 is a long rifle,
26 inches, I think.
Yep. I shot marksman on both AK-47, AR-15. Well, it's an M4 in the military. And I shot expert in the M9, which is a 9mm Beretta.
Yeah.
That's 48 rounds or more in the black. 48 out of 50 I shot.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty good shot. I'm a pretty good shot.
I'm still looking to get a fucking FAL.
I think that's what I'm going to do. I think my dad and I are actually trying to get matching M1As.
Nice.
I have
from Springfield or
Springfield.
Yeah.
Springfield's the only one who makes the M1A now.
Yeah, I have a Browning 308. Now that kicks.
I got a Browning 300 Winchester Magnum. It's a Browning. Yeah, it's not a 1918, but it's a Browning BAR, the sport rifle. 4-shot clipazine in the housing there.
I got
for all you gun nuts. Yeah, it's a clipazine.
I got a 1973 Browning High Power.
That thing's actually pretty fucking hot, and I don't usually like 9.
There is a gun at a gun dealer down in Little Rock that I absolutely want, but I don't have $25,000 to buy it.
Better not tell me it's a Barrett.
Nope, it is an original 1925 Thompson.
Ooh.
Oh yeah,
sexy.
With a drum on it.
And
beautiful.
The problem with the drum mags, and this is speaking from experience, those things jam a lot, but they're really cool. Like I think they're like a really cool invention. I want the 1912A1 because that's actually the 25A1. The 25A1 is like the best fucking Thompson they ever made.
That's why the military used the stick mags instead of the drum mags.
Yep.
Well, I think the drum mags on the Thompsons actually work fairly well, just because the bullet shape was a little bit more solid to use. So there was less chance for the bullets to get crooked and jam up.
The problem with the drum mags and why they jam up with people is one, they're very sensitive to dirt, dust, sand, but also you're supposed to wind them like halfway through.
You know what else I have that's really cool? I have a World War II M07. Now that is a fucking gun.
An M07?
It's an M07.
There's a lot of M7 shits. I got to look that up real quick.
You said World War II or World War One?
It's World War II M07. It's a Russian Mosin Nagant.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bolt-action internal magazine-fed rifle that is solid fucking walnut, and it fucking weighs 15 pounds, and it will blow a goddamn tree in half.
I used to have a Mosin crate. I used to have like the actual crates that the Mosins were shipped in. It was my gun cabinet for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That thing was beat up.
That thing was beat the fuck up. I got it for free.
Yep.
Well, let's see.
There's actually a lever action that I have my eye on, and it's nothing like authentic or historic or anything like that. It's just a lever action, a 45x70 government. Because I'm a real big I don't know why, but I've really come to like a lot of like the big game rifles, especially like African big game rifles, double rifle shit like that. Just the crazy novelty shit.
Well, I love my lever actions, man. I absolutely, they're probably my favorite rifle to shoot is lever action. I got a Winchester 30-30 and a Henry, and they're fun to shoot. They're just fucking fun.
Well, the 45-70s, you can use it as an elephant round with the right charge in it.
Well, I guess I got to talk about my prized possessions. I have 3 M1 Grands. One.
Can I buy one?
One is a 19.
You have 3. Share the wealth.
Well, we've got 5 in the household.
Yeah, Jesus.
Don't use socialist speak on that American gun, Magog.
I offered to buy it, dick.
Yeah, he did. He actually did offer to buy it. He understands fucking
right
capitalism.
before share the wealth.
Just because I said share the wealth doesn't mean I didn't offer to buy it.
Well, let's see. I've got a 1960s M1 Grand Springfield. I've got a I don't remember the year on this one. I think it's 55.
I still have the end clip from that one fucking Grand.
Yeah. Every time someone comes out with me and shoots the Grand for the first time, I give them the end block to keep. It's just a tradition my dad started with me.
And I still do rub it when my mom pisses me off.
Yeah. It's a great thing to use like as a stress ball. You just rub on it and you just feel better.
That was like,
You remember that time you were shooting beavers with a Grand?
it's a classic gun because it was used in the war, but
Yeah.
it was a bad design.
And it was what? That was like one of the fucking best designed guns ever.
No, my grandfather fought in World War II and he hated his M1 Grand. He called them thumb pinchers. You know?
Well, yeah, because he didn't know how to work it.
Oh, no, don't go give me that shit. You get fucking mud and dirt in that thing and then try to reload it, man. It fucking grab you, man. It fucking hurt.
I've got, I believe...
It has nothing to do with not knowing how to use it, but when you're in a war zone taking fucking fire, you're going to get mud and dirt in your gun.
Hey, that's why you wear a glove and you cut the fingers off of it and keep the thumb on there.
I don't remember the year on this one, but it is an M1D with the D block and the period correct scope.
I definitely like D's.
You like the D?
That was a boob joke for those of you who didn't catch on.
Oh, I was thinking D's nuts. Anyway.
I was thinking D cup.
And I also have a 1955 M1 Grand that is cut down to the length of a carbine. Also known as a tanker, but it's actually 2 inches shorter than the tanker Grands.
Nice.
It sucks to be 2 inches short, doesn't it?
It does, but you shot that thing, and it is so much fun.
Did I shoot that thing?
Yeah.
There is an AR build that I actually want to do, and you know the M16 Arnold used and Predator with the heat shield and
the 3,000 round mag. I want that thing.
Yeah, that's actually what I want to do. I don't really care with AR-15s, like how big or short the barrel is. If I need to do close quarters, I got fucking pistols. But for just fun, I've always wanted to build the rifle build from Predator, especially because I just love to look at that heat shield and everything like that. And you can get a flare gun. That's I think a 38 or 39 millimeter that looks like the 40 millimeter grenade launchers. I think they actually use in the movie. So this is me being a little bit of a nerd there.
Since we got Magog on, and this is perfect because we got Chris on as well. You mentioned some ideas on the last Killcast we did, like the bride idea, and Chris will tell you we've had that idea ever since the beginning, though for some reason we decided against it. I don't even remember what it was.
Was it like hanging fucking like bride corpse in the background or some shit?
Yeah, like hanging the bride from the rafters when we play live, and have some weird shit going on with the eyes, and then possibly hanging real chicks, because if you're gonna do it, might as well do it for real.
Like,
the stunt with a fake rope and hooks.
Yeah, stunt
Obviously.
rigging.
If you're talking about your stage show, that's up to you guys. I just was like,
But
I was just like the artwork for every like album or every single release. Should incorporate the death of some bride.
Yeah, we definitely had that idea. We also had ideas of actually having a castle in the background and stuff like that. I think we should bring that idea back.
I agree.
I don't remember why.
It's all about branding.
But
It's all about branding, man.
I think we went against it because we didn't want to do the whole gore aspect of it.
that may have been it.
I think that was it. We didn't want to get into like
either that or you didn't want to be another thrash metal band that had a mascot. But I tell you what, man, bands that have mascots fucking work.
I know. Yeah. I'm the mascot. I'm Mr. Killbride himself.
Yeah, sure you are.
For those of you who don't know, I am Mr. Killbride himself.
Jamison doesn't like this idea. No, I don't.
But it doesn't matter what you like.
But yeah,
We're Castle Fuck It now.
Yeah, so fuck it now.
Fuck it. We're just gonna get porn stars now in cages.
Hey, I'm also Mr. Ron Jeremy himself.
Guess why we're called Castle Fuck It.
yeah, the bride thing. Yeah, we want to do that. And shit, what else did you guys talk about? I don't remember. I should.
You talked about some shit about using razors and like doing like the WWE cutting open a head, and I said fucking no to that.
Oh, blading. Yeah. Well, look at HBK's for
Hey, we can all be like Slayer fans and carve fucking Castle Killbrides into our shit.
I don't even like tattoos. Why the fuck would I do that?
Why don't you like tattoos?
Well, for one, I don't really care about scarring up my body, but two, I would never be happy with whatever I got.
The problem with that idea is, one, it's been done to death to the point of where people think you're doing it just to be edgy, and you don't ever want to do that. You never want to be known as just another band in a long line of bands who bleeds on stage to be shocking.
Hey, you know what we could do? We could hire Miley Cyrus to do that fucking Purdue chicken twerk she did.
I mean, only if we can actually take out a bastard sword and like fucking behead her on stage.
Dude, that's like the whole point.
Yes, we did.
I thought that was implied.
I didn't mean as a stunt now.
We did talk about spelling Castle with a K for the Castle Killbride Killcast. I don't remember how that conversation went, but
no, I think Missy just wanted to make a joke where it just spelled out as KKK, and we were like, nah, it's just forcing it.
Yeah, I think that's just forced. I think the other idea I came up with is you should refer to your fans as brides and bastards,
which we have been doing. We did that. We did it during the opening of this one.
Yes, we have officially started using the brides and bastards.
Cool
thing. We're still eventually going to use the peasants thing if we get big enough for the Castle Killbride Club, which that's actually what we were talking about for the KKK thing, not the Killcast. Yeah.
How about just not use the KKK thing at all? Because this is forcing it.
That's so forced.
And the KKK is a Democrat thing anyway. Fuck them.
True. Plus, it does not work well when two of us are, the band manager and the bassist from Alabama, and we got like KKK shit going on. Yeah. Does not work.
Well, yeah, people might actually like frown upon that. They might also think, yeah.
The only other downside with your name is that it's an actual place.
Yeah, it is spelled differently though.
And you are not from that place. There is an actual Castle Killbride.
Yes, there is.
Canada.
In Canada.
Which we do plan on conquering one day.
Yes.
Canada.
Justin Trudeau won't stand a chance. Faggot.
And the thing is, it's not even a castle. It's barely even a mansion.
When I get up there, I'm going to bring a bunch of bricks. I'm going to make an honest man out of them.
Yeah, but I won't be part of that because their snipers actually scare me. Like Jamison will tell you, I'm a pretty wicked fucking shot, and I can kill things, but their snipers actually scare me because they're out of my range, and my range is far.
Hey, that being a sniper in Iraq and getting a 2-mile shot is a lot different than being a sniper in the woodland.
That's true. Because woodlands, I mean, it's like, 200, 300 yards, man. And everything's fair game in the woods.
That's why if you want long-distance shooters and hunters, you want to go out west where it's flat. But if you want bow hunters, come to the southeast.
I actually kind of have a moral opposition to hunting with bow.
So Misty just brought something up, and I do have this zombie noise thing that I do. That Magog you can use at any time. Chris absolutely hates it. Misty absolutely hates it. Everyone I've shown absolutely hates it.
I'll probably hate it.
Yeah,
he hates it.
Yeah, it's oh man, I'm just coming off of 6, so I don't know if I can do it. But yeah, it's got multiple tones in it and stuff. I'll try and do it.
Do it, faggot.
Do it, faggot.
I don't know how well that came off.
Wait. You ready to do it again?
Why?
Dibbity. Dibbity.
I
am
don't
so
know.
happy everybody got that.
I don't know if you could hear the multiple tones in that or not.
You know what? That would make a very good, interesting effect if we do like a dungeon theme song or something.
Yeah, I considered like just going into a bathroom of the bar and like sitting in the stall, and then when someone walks in, just start making that noise, and hopefully they're drunk and will start freaking the fuck out.
Dude, they'll probably think you're trying to pass a fucking stone.
Like, this zombie's really taking a hard shit. How much fiber those brains have?
Damn.
Doobity 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 doo.
Hey guys, put it on the Ritz.
There you go.
Please on random.
Please tell me you got that. I know Magog did.
Oh yeah.
Jamison, did you get it?
Yes. Is yes the correct answer?
Now tell me, what was I referring to?
I have no idea.
Oh my god! Have you not seen
Young Frankenstein?
Young Frankenstein.
It's Mel Brooks film.
Oh shit! I haven't
Piss
seen
on
that
you.
in forever.
If
Piss on you, I work for Mel Brooks.
Why don't you go where fashion sits?
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that shit since I was like 12.
That's fucking Fred Astaire, man. Fuck
Oh
yeah.
man.
I mean,
Dressed up like $1 million trooper. Trying mighty hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper.
the last Mel Brooks movie I saw was Blazing Saddles, and that was Chicago a couple years ago.
Yeah, we were also. You were like finger banging Misty. Were you two married yet? Like they were like fucking each other on the couch right next to me. It was kind of actually creepy.
Oh, it's like that time I saw Suicide Squad.
Now y'all are really, y'all are really sharing some shit publicly.
What the fuck do I care? I'm not gonna drop names, but basically, I saw Suicide Squad twice. One because I was really wanting to see it, and then another time because I was with the girl, and let's just say we chose the back row for a reason.
Look, man, I would do that shit in the front row, man. I don't care who sees it.
Well, we did the same thing to Batman vs Superman too.
Ew.
Did anybody else ever have like a bad experience with Wonder Woman?
I just
Like,
didn't really care for it at all.
I really liked it.
I broke up with my girlfriend the night after that movie.
You had a girlfriend?
Yeah, the Brazilian chick.
Oh.
No, this is that girl that I banged her in Suicide Squad. And she broke up with me like on Christmas. And that was after I had to leave home because my family was just driving me up the fucking wall. So I drove 100 miles back to Jacksonville. So it wasn't a good day for me.
I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Hookers just never break up with me.
Hey, you don't pay a hooker to fuck you. You pay a hooker to leave. So, yeah.
I'm a gentleman though. I call the cab and everything.
Well, I'm used to shoplifting, so I don't pay hookers at all.
Nah, you guys got it all wrong. Lot lizards are where it's at.
Lot lizards are usually dudes, dude.
Not every time.
Either that or meth heads.
No, the fact that you can answer not every time tells a lot.
Hey, man, he's the kind of guy who, like, he's put all the work into this. Like, when he pulls off the pants and there's a penis there, he's like, well, fuck it. I've come this far.
Yeah, I mean, by that time, there's no turning back.
I actually had a coworker, buddy of mine. I still talk to him for some reason. He was going to go see Slayer with us, but he was kind of sick. So he didn't pick up that third ticket. But he, true story, he was cheating on his girlfriend. I'll preface it with that. And I guess it's a true story. I don't know. I wasn't there. But he apparently, like, picked up this one random chick at a bar and was like, it took him like 2.5, 3 hours to get this chick home with him. and it was a dude, and he actually said, "Fuck it, I've come this far," and just like went face first right into the ass.
Well, yeah, he worked hard for that meal. Fucking,
Did he?
yeah, and
So,
it's a tough economy. They had to change 69 to 96 because it's more expensive to eat.
Shit,
so-
my God, you should just stick it up.
And I should also say, lot lizards are very clean. They go, they grab the hose, and they clean themselves out right there in the parking lot. Very clean.
Yeah,
That'd be the only thing at a fucking gas station is clean.
And on that note, I think I'm gonna have to go, guys.
That is a true story.
But real quick, Magog, you can ask Jamison. I've been really kind of hounding them about trying to keep with the castle, the medieval theme with it. Like even going so forth as to considering getting them to rename the album to reflect more of a medieval theme.
That's an interesting juxtaposition, given that you guys are thrash.
like
Well, not medieval
really
music,
a medieval
but like the name. And
I'm not wearing a loincloth. We ain't going Manowar up in this bitch.
I will.
That would be pretty
Look,
fucking.
man.
That would be pretty fucking badass. Like, here's the people that have never heard your band before, but they're at the club and they just like live music or whatever. And you come out on stage; it's the first time they're seeing you, and you're wearing fucking belts and tunics, and you have swords, and everybody's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then all of a sudden, you're like,
That's actually kind of what I was kind of considering. Like, not only just us getting up there in like medieval garbs and armor and stuff like that, but our fans having mosh pits and fucking knight's armor and shit.
That would be great if at least one of you got like the bowl haircut for like a monk's had in the medieval time.
Oh,
Like just put a bowl on your head and shave your fucking hair all the way around, and you have like this perfect fucking circle on your head. And then you shave the top so you have this bald spot like Friar Tuck.
All right, Jag, you know what to do.
uh,
That's a bassist look right there.
Or you just
Yeah.
or you just do the
No.
Friar Tuck bald spot, but the rest of your hair is like super long.
Oh,
It would have- That's called a skull.
no, James, that's not the bassist hairdo. That's the bassist hairdo right before he kills the rest of the fucking band.
No,
That's before he does a reverse Johnny Rudd, but the fucking Sex Pistols bassist killed himself.
it would be a really cool look though to be like all dressed like Vikings and shit. You got fucking kilts on and stuff, you know. Unfortunately,
that what,
the kilt up on stage has been done before by AC/DC,
isn't-
but
And like, didn't Strapping Young Lad pull off that look? Like, he's got the fucking like skullet dreads and a kilt on.
yeah, there's also the fucking punk rock bagpiper. I can't remember his name, but he was on like fucking America's
Yes, the
Got Talent or
bagpipes are
whatever.
totally what I want to hear in my.
Is that the
His
guy?
bagpipes, he did like heavy metal music with bagpipes, and it would shoot flames out the top of his bagpipes and shit.
Oh yeah,
I
saw
mean-
that. He's great.
Okay.
Well, I think the tunic thing and that stuff, I think that's been done before already.
Probably.
Probably, but that doesn't mean we can't do it and like put our own spin to it. Especially if we can like get our fans or whatever to have a mosh pit in fucking medieval
Has it-
armor and shields.
Has
That
anyone
will
seen
definitely
F is
be-
for Family? Bill Burr's animated
Yeah.
show on Netflix. That you guys are kind of like going the route of that Frodo band right now. That his like bitch ass son was part of.
Can't be. Almost all of us
It
are
doesn't
above
have
6
to be
feet
your
tall.
constant look. You could do like just a special tour, like where it's like, I mean, you guys
Well-
could have a mixed bag of stage presentations. It doesn't have to be one single theme all the way through.
I was gonna say, medieval knights or conquistadors or like fucking Minutemen from whatever, mix it up, or maybe even samurai at one point. Anything that has to do with like castle or like shit, like what our songs are about.
You guys should totally get a cannon for the stage, and at the end of your show, you set it off, and it's just
We have a cannon.
Like either a cannon or like a
No,
like a
real
fucking auto
cannon.
gun.
No, like a real fucking cannon. It just shoots smoke and pyrotechnics.
Dude,
Oh,
those
yeah.
things weigh like 1,000 pounds, man. Hell no.
They got wheels
I ain't
on.
lifting that shit.
They got fucking wheels on.
Have you ever tried to roll one of them things, man? They don't roll easy. It takes
Yeah,
like
they
a
do.
group
They
of 6
fucking roll
people
real
to roll
easy.
that motherfucker.
Fuck no, it doesn't.
We'll get a fucking flat cannon. That way we can shoot it off multiple times, and it already comes with wheels.
I'm not saying get a real one. I'm saying build one that looks real. Yeah, a real
Hey,
one.
we should get that. No, you know what we should get? We should get the little R2D2 that's sitting on the side of ships. the little wasp gun or whatever they call that fucking thing.
What?
I don't know if we
what?
could use it during this.
Good luck
Oh,
finding one.
You mean the anti-missile fucking chain gun that they got on aircraft carriers?
It's not. Yeah, it's like a little fucking dome robot gun, and it like shoots like. I don't think we should use it during our set.
You know
I
those
just want one.
motherfuckers are like 2 stories tall, right?
Who the fuck cares? We could fuck up a whole bunch of shit with that thing, man.
Yeah. Good luck finding one.
Well,
You can maybe buy one
naval,
from a Saudi prince on the black market.
Naval Amphibious Base Coronado has one.
well,
They're
we're-
allowed
Are,
to.
are you gonna go to Coronado and ask them for a fucking top secret gun that's on their fucking aircraft?
It's not top secret. They did a special on it, but yes.
The shit that's in it's top secret. I guarantee.
Plus, what does that have to do with a castle? I said cannon because they actually had cannons on castles.
In my mind, I automatically went to 1812 Overture, but whatever.
Ours is a futuristic castle. Okay, castles still exist in 2018. All right, they're in
Are you
Scotland.
saying we need to do a Castle Grayskull? Because I would be really okay with that.
Fucking hell yeah!
I'll leave you guys to figure that out, but it is 1:30.
Look, I would greatly do
all right. Yeah,
Castle
we
Grayskull and Thundera. I'm just saying, I will do that shit. We'll
All
go
right.
to fucking cons and do it.
we've been going for about 2 hours now,
2.5.
3.
Have we really?
No,
Yeah, we
that
started
long to
at
smoke
what,
this thing?
11?
no. Well, we started talking at 11. Stream didn't start at 11. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next Sunday. Either at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're still trying to figure out what time is good. And
We'll try and keep it consistent, but right now schedules are just fucked.
yeah,
But until then,
10
man
works
the
best.
matriculations and man the gates.
sure. Good night, everybody.
And the bilge pump. All right. Good night, everybody.
That's fucking Navy, asshole.
And thank you, Sarah. Good night,
Sarah.
everybody. She's in the chat.
I don't
Oh,
have
thank
a
you,
chat.
Sarah. It's on the YouTube. We're live streaming straight to YouTube.
Yeah, she
Ah.
said it was a great show. All right.
Well, except for the fact we're still live and we just ruined this fucking ending.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
assholes. It's your fault. Way to drop the ball, Castle Killbride.
Yeah. Thanks for showing up, guys. See you next week. Good night.
See you next week.
Later.